College Athletic Association poll after winning their 30th consecutive home game, a 54-13 win against division rival Mississippi Delta last week. The Lions scored 7 different ways against the Trojans, along with rushing and passing touchdowns. They had a field goal on the offensive side, also a pick-six safety on defense, in addition to special teams scores on both a block punt return and a traditional punt return. The Lions have scored 50 straight points coming into the season for the first 4 games since 2014. That was a national championship year as well. I mentioned Jonathan Holmes and Glenn Beard. We're going to get to those guys now. Jonathan Holmes is sitting over here to my left. Jonathan, it's finally kind of semi-football weather. It's not as humid, but it's not real cool. Off coming up at the bottom of the hour, and the clouds look rainy, but really no chance of rain tonight as we see mostly to partly cloudy skies for this contest. So for the first time, we're not sitting in a booth sweating ourselves to death getting ready for EMCC football.
About 10 degrees difference, the temperature today as opposed to last Thursday night. We're expecting a good ball game. The thing you'll notice throughout our pregame activity and talk is that you're going to see 2 different teams today, and I'm talking not just wearing 2 different uniforms. I'm talking about EMCC, a team that has dominated every ball game they've been in, and then you've got a team, East Central, that's played a lot of close games. So East Central hoping to keep the game close tonight, and if they do that, they've got an opportunity to win the game.
Let's go down to the 45-yard line to our left, which is towards the north side of the field. Glenn Beard, the third member of our broadcast crew, joins us. Glenn, we talked about the weather conditions. We don't have any rain forecasted tonight, but there's been a lot of rain in the area over the last 48 hours or 72 hours even. But we shouldn't worry about it because there's a beautiful field here in Decatur, and it is not AstroTurf, but field turf down there where you're standing, so it probably absorbed a lot of that water and has already gotten it off the surface so far.
Absolutely, Jason. This is actually, in my opinion, we've seen every field in the MACJC. This would be the second best field in the MACJC. Of course, the first being at East Mississippi. Field conditions absolutely immaculate. Field turf, no problem there. It could rain all it wants to, hurricane-type rains, and you'd be fine. Weather is absolutely perfect, Jason. We're mid-70s right now, and temperatures will continue to drop as the game goes on, but shouldn't get below probably 68 by the end of the game. This is absolutely good football weather. It's getting, you want like it a little bit more crisp for these big guys, but we're getting there. Fall is in the air.
Thank you, Glenn. We'll be checking back in with you in the next segment as we start talking about this matchup, X's and O's wise. East Central warming up to our left. That's the south end of the field. EMCC still in their locker room to our left. And EMCC is going to be sporting the all-white uniforms tonight, all black with a gold trim for East Central. And we should have a well of a ball game tonight. It's a top 20 battle. East Central checking in at number 20 in this week's National Junior College Athletic Association polls. EMCC, as I mentioned once, again, number 1. They had 17 first-place votes this past week. 4-0 versus 3-1 here on the road indicator. Back to Bailey Stadium in a moment. We'll have a look at the starting lineups for EMCC. You're listening to the Lions Radio Network. Hey, Jaron, what's our sound like? Community College. Both teams have left the field. EMCC hasn't been out here, though, in several minutes as they're in the locker room going through some final instructions. They were out warming up just a moment ago before we came on the air. East Central has just now gone to their locker room. We're about set for some more pregame activities as we are here at Bailey Stadium. I'm kind of looking around, seeing if they're looked like they were about set for some sort of national anthem, but the band is not out there yet. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the EMCC starting lineups first. On offense, it will be quarterback Vijay Miller wearing jersey number 12. The 6'3", 190-pound sophomore from Itawamba AHS has completed 61 of 97 attempts for 833 yards. 208 yards a game with 8 touchdowns thrown to just 2 interceptions. He'll have flanked to his right or left Dion McIntosh, the 5'11", 195-pound transfer from Notre Dame out of Pompano Beach, Florida, has 54 carries for 310 yards, 5.7 yards a pop, averaging 77 yards a game, and 8 touchdowns. That leads the National Junior College Athletic Association. Your wideouts, Ontario Drummond, the 6'2", 200-pound sophomore from Laurel High School, has 14 receptions for 327 yards, 6 touchdowns through the air, averaging 81.8 yards receiving per game. Julian Connor, wearing jersey 15 out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. The freshman stands 5'11", 185. He gets a start at wideout. On the other side of the football, it's Adrian Miller, wearing jersey 19 from West Marion High School, 6', 175. He is a sophomore. And the slot receiver, Braden Boykin from Madison Central High School, wearing jersey number 7, standing at 5'7", 160 pounds. He is a sophomore that had a huge block punt that led to an Adrian Miller touchdown last week against Mississippi Delta. Your Hogs up front from left to right. Jacoby Jones at left tackle out of Starkville High School, stands 6'3", 310. He is a sophomore. Your left guard, 55, Matt Tolles, 6', 305, a sophomore from Lafayette County High School. Your center, number 54, Connor Reinecke, 6'1", 305, the sophomore from Starkville High School. Your right guard is Bailey Trusty, 6'2", 295, a freshman from Grenada High School. And because of LaQuinston Sharp's season-ending injury, right tackle 50-60 Anthony Page will get the start, 6'4", 275, a sophomore from Laurel High School. On the defensive side of the ball, left end 47 Eric Kitchens anchors that side, 6'2", 250, a sophomore from South Panola High School. Your defensive tackles, number 99 Darrell Middleton, 6'7", 290, a freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee. Your nose guard, 93 Kane Taylor, 6'3", 290, a sophomore from Clearwater, Florida. And your right end, Everett Cunningham, who was just all over the place against Mississippi Delta out of West Point High School, stands 6'3", 250. He is a sophomore. Your linebacker, starting with the strong side, is number 42 E.J. Woods, 5'11", 205, a freshman from Natchez High School. Your middle linebacker is number 32 Ontario Johnson, 6'1", 230, a sophomore from Coahoma County High School. Your weak side linebacker is number 33, John Valesco, 6'3", 230, a sophomore from Homestead, Florida. Your secondary at corner, it's number 6, Kilos Swinney, 6 foot, 185, a sophomore from Yazoo County High School. Number 9, Jaquez Akins, 5'10", 190, a sophomore from Starkville High School. And your free safeties, number 27, Josh Miller, 5'11", 190, a sophomore from West Marion High School. And your strong safety is number 11, Jacob Anderson, 6'3", 200, a sophomore from Puckett High School. Your specialist, your place kickers, number 35, Josh Smith, 2 for 3 on the season with a log of 37 yards, 29 of 30 from extra point. He is 5'9", 165, a freshman from Tupelo High School. Your kickoff specialist is Josh Smith. Your punter is Johnny Moss, wearing jersey number 36, 6 foot, 150, a freshman from Germantown High School. 10 punts, 413 yards, averaging 41.3 yards per kick, a long of 49 on the season. Punt returners, number 21, DJ Clayton, 5'9", 175 from nearby Kemper County High School. That's near Scuba. He is a sophomore. And kick returner, it's DJ Clayton and Braden Boykin. Your long snappers, number 39, Brett Burton, 6'1", 195, a freshman from Ocean Springs High School. And your holders, number 7, Braden Boykin. And that's a look at the starting lineups for EMCC. We bring Jonathan Holmes back into the broadcast. We're about to have the color guard come out onto the field here in just a moment, and we'll pay respects to our great country with the performance of our national anthem. But LaQuinston Sharp, we'll talk about him. Your right tackle that goes down last week with a season-ending injury, committed to Mississippi State this past week, so that young man's got plenty of football ahead of him. But that's a big blow to Buddy Stevens in this offensive line.
It absolutely is. If you take a look at the backups for left tackle, you've got DeAnthony Page, who is starting at right tackle. So the tackle situation is obviously your key position on the offensive line, and we're very, very thin at that position, as you are at most other offensive and defensive line positions. These teams carry an awful lot of skill players, but it's hard to find good quality linemen. And so keeping the offensive line healthy for the remainder of the year is going to be key for EMCC.
We'll talk about EMCC offensively matched up with East Central defensively. Now, East Central's a team that they've given up a lot of points this season and some yards, and you're going to do that as defenses in modern-day college football, the way teams like this spread out, and they do that up-tempo offense like East Mississippi. And, of course, the Warriors have their work cut out for them playing the Lions. Despite having a running clock with that mandated 38-point mercy rule this season, EMCC currently ranks third nationally in scoring offense at 55 points per contest, 54.8 officially. They're second among national junior college athletic teams with an average of 336 passing yards per game. And I think that's obviously DeWeaver's been doing a really good job too when he's coming there. He's got a cannon on him as well. But Vijay Miller has come out and done it both with his arm and his legs, and that's why he's going to be starting tonight. But EMCC so potent. And then you've got McIntosh, who has rushed for 8 touchdowns on the season. He is about to clip the 400-yard mark more than likely tonight when you look at his statistics per average.
Yeah, some great skill position players for EMCC. You know, you're talking about touchdowns a moment ago. Dontario Drummond, a guy that just catches touchdown passes, it seems, along with Julian Connor. Then you've got a guy with Boykin that can just go across the middle, and he's not afraid to get in those sticky situations and catch the ball. Adrian Miller, also a speedster. And you mentioned Vijay Miller, a guy that really has a spark when he comes out onto the field. The offense just seems to gather around him and to play well when he's out there. So we'll see him for the majority of the evening tonight for EMCC.
Let's go down to the field of the third member of our broadcast crew, Glenn Beard, as he talks about East Central defensively. Glenn, you heard us talking how they've given up some points and stuff. They average 410 yards given up a game, but where they're stingy is on the ground, to say the least, 169 yards giving up a game. So we might see a little bit of a challenge there tonight with this Warrior defense.
Yeah, Jason, I have to agree with you. I talked with the defensive coordinator from East Central, that's Mickey Mays, and he's proud of the way his guys have played this year. They've played up to their opponent's potential. Well, and as I told him, I said, well, then you ought to be real pleased with tonight's performance because they're playing one of the best offenses in the country.
Yeah, and you look at East Central offensively, now that you mention offense, 317 yards a game, 163 on the ground, 153 through the air, so they're balanced, but they're scoring points, 27.5 a game.
Yeah, they are, Jason. They have guys that can go the distance at any point on the field. It doesn't matter if you're backed up on the 1 or if you're down on the 50 or the 5. They could break one the distance at any moment, and that's always good to have that type of weapons. It really stretches the defense thin because you don't know where you have to actually cover because all 11 football players on offense can really hurt you, especially those skill guys that you're going to get the ball in their hands.
Here's the bad news for East Central. 188.8 yards does EMCC give up total a game, 72.3 on the ground, 116.5 through the air, and just 12.3 points a game. So they're going to have their hands full tonight facing that Lion defense.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, Jason, we talked about a little bit the running game, with McIntosh and Keon, both the 1-2 punch. Both of those guys, I mean, as well as I do, you can't hardly tell which one's which when they come into the game as they switch out. There's no letdown. And that's what's great about this East Mississippi team. The 1s or the 2s, there's not much letdown on those.
No, and he's not kidding, Jonathan, either. There's times I've really gotten them mistaken out there. One's 20, one's 25, but they both have the same body types in a way, and they both run the football in the same way as well. So kind of the same setup athletically, both of those guys. We'll talk special teams coming up here in just a moment, plus we'll start getting keys to the game, and we'll take a look at games that are supposed to be taking place tonight around MacJC play, but we're getting set for the invocation and the national anthem here at Bailey Stadium. The Warriors and the Lions going to battle tonight here in Decatur, Mississippi. The first time that EMCC has been on the road to Decatur since 2012. It was a win for EMCC then, and the last time these two teams played in 2013 in Scuba, it was a win for the Lions. We'll also visit this series in the Buddy Stevens era coming up in just a moment. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. Bailey Stadium here on the campus of East Central Community College in Decatur, Mississippi, and they're asking for the folks to please rise for our invocation and national anthem. So as they do that, we will take one more time out. We'll be back in 2.5 minutes to Bailey Stadium as we get set for the opening kickoff between the number 1 ranked Lions of EMCC and the 20th ranked Warriors of East Central. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. At Bailey Stadium on the campus of East Central Community College, and the Warrior Marching Band is out to our right as they're getting set to entertain a little bit more. We've got about 5 minutes and 34 seconds before they tee the football up and kick it off. We're about to have the coin toss. We're going to be going to Glenn Beer down on the field for that. We're awaiting the captains for both teams to come out, and we see EMCC's captains up in the northeast corner of the field as they're walking out of the clubhouse now, and they're walking on to the field. I mentioned that EMCC and East Central have only met twice in the Buddy Stevens era, and it was a 51-7 win here in Decatur in 2012. Played them again in Scuba in 2013, and it was a 59-0 decision in favor of EMCC. So over 100 points scored by EMCC and only 7 by East Central in those two ball games. So this is one of those EMCC North versus a South opponent where you don't play them very often. And we're getting set here in just a moment for the captains to come out on the field. We're going to pass those along to you in just a moment. Jonathan, East Central's a team that's really been pretty good this year so far, 3-1 as we mentioned, and they're leading the South Division. They're under 6-year head coach Ken Karcher, and Ken Karcher, people have nothing but great things to say about him. He's very well liked here in Decatur, and he's done a great job turning this program around.
Yeah, they're going to be scrappy. They're going to come out and play their kind of football. They want to keep the game close. They've got good special teams. Their field goal kicker is excellent. Their punter is good. So their special teams and flipping the field is going to be important for them. And just keeping the game close, Jason. I think if you see a 10-point game going into the fourth quarter, that is their kind of ball game. They want to be right there in it, and they've got an opportunity to win those because they're used to playing those close games.
Let's go back down to Glenn Beer now on the field. Glenn, this was one of those matchups where you didn't see the two teams jawing at one another. Both were just going about their business as they were going through warm-ups, and I'll tell you what, that's just a pleasant thing to see, isn't it?
It really is, Jason. You see the jawing and stuff, and especially in this league, a good bit. But tonight it is a lot different. Both teams kind of keeping their distance from each other, and the coaching staffs are doing a good job. I know both coaching staffs, and they both have emphasized if you're going to talk, you talk with your pads, and that's been emphasized, and we know that by Coach Buddy Stevens' crew, but also by Coach Karcher's as well.
All right, Glenn's about to have the coin toss. We'll keep it down there here in just a moment, but we want to let you know that it's Kendrick Abney, James Smith III, and Sam Cox, the captains for East Central, and they're about to meet at midfield. EMCC's captains Joseph Anderson, Adrian Miller, Jacoby Jones, and Kane Taylor. Let's go down to Glenn on the field for the coin toss.
Thank you, Jason. The captains are meeting at midfield. There, you see them shaking hands and everything, and the white hat's about to explain the rules, and we'll listen in.
All right, guys, y'all help us keep this game going smooth and under control. East Mississippi, y'all are visiting, so this will be heads, this will be tails. What's your call?
Tails.
Tails is called. Heads it is.
See.
You want to receive? You want to kick from the clock? Kick from the clock. All right, y'all turn that way. Turn over here.
All right, Jason, East Mississippi called tails. It was a head, so East Central has elected to receive, and you know it, Jason, KFC for you.
Thank you, Glenn. Appreciate that. We're 2 minutes away from kick, and they're shaking hands once again. East Central won the toss. They have elected to receive. Let's take a look at matchups going on across MAC-JC play tonight. Mississippi Delta will host Coahoma in a North Division matchup. South Division play, Mississippi Gulf Coast will travel over to Wesson to face Copiah-Lincoln Community College. The Wolfpack hosting the Bulldogs. Hines will be at home hosting Pearl. The Popcats will be there. Holmes will be on the road at Northwest Mississippi. Northeast will be at Itawamba and Fulton. And Jones at home hosting Southwest. And we'll keep you up to date on those scores throughout the night. East Central has come out onto the field. They're running through the band that's dressed in black and gold, and the players are dressed in black and gold. For East Central, they'll have some gold trim on either side of the shoulder pad and also some gold trim on the side of the pants. But they are predominantly black pants, black jerseys, black helmets with the Warrior Head logo on each side. So East Central looking pretty smooth with their uniforms as they come to the near side. And Washington Lee and Swing is being performed across the way as EMCC has come out onto the field. Of course, Washington Lee and Swing, the fight song for our Lions. The number 1 team in the country facing the number 20 team in the country as we're getting set for football here in Decatur. Let's go down on the field one more time to Glenn Beard as we'll get his keys to the game.
Thank you, Jason. Vijay's got to get in a rhythm early. Just a few short passes. Let those guys work. Let your weapons like McIntosh and company work. Get the ball to them in space and just watch them go. Defensively, just do what we do. Get good pressure with that defensive line. Linebackers be there to make a play. And, hey, special teams, let's make a play tonight.
Thank you, Glenn, for that report down on the field. And back deep to receive for East Central Community College is number 33, Marquavius Qualls. He's listed as a running back on the roster. And also out to receive is DePontre Coburn II, a wide receiver on the roster out of Noxapater, Mississippi. And EMCC has teed the football up. Josh Smith will be kicking from left to right here momentarily. The officials have blown the whistle, and all is in readiness as we're getting set for the opening kickoff. A 6:30 kick here in Decatur, and he comes on the football, and Smith kicks it. It's high end over end, taken inside the 5, between the numbers and the hash on the far side. Out across the 15 and being tackled is going to be Cavante Caston, who went back deep to receive that one. Caston snuck in there, and he brings it back out to the 18-yard line. Adrian Miller will make the tackle on special teams, and that's going to be a return of about, say, 15 yards.
Great job by Miller tracking down Caston from behind as he was trying to come to the near side to break free. EMCC, an important defensive stand here early in the ball game. You want to get the ball for your offense as quickly as you can.
And now we have
a penalty flag. That's usually in the area of offsides on the kicking team, so they'll kick that thing off again. And East Central will try to get better field position from that penalty.
Correction, it was close to 18 yards on the return. And by the way, I couldn't see the penalty flags a moment ago, and it's going to be false start on EMCC, so an illegal procedure, and so the Lions will be backed up 5 yards, and they'll have to kick it from their own 30, kicking from left to right. Right in the middle of the field is Kevontae Caston, a receiver out of Trinity Episcopal Day School in Natchez, Mississippi. He'll stand now over on the far hash. So he'll creep up somewhere around the 8, now the 10-yard line as he awaits this kick from Smith. The football has been teed up. We're waiting Smith to come and kick it here momentarily. He's looking across the way, surveying the field. Now the officials are going to blow the play in. So the play clock has started counting. We're at 22 seconds, now 21 seconds. 14:56 to go in the first quarter. We're 4 seconds into the game, and EMCC's having a re-kick. And he kicks it from the 30. It's high end over end. Caston's going to back up and take it at the 6. Out across the 10, 15, 20, goes to the far sideline. He's going to be bottled up around the 22, and he will be dropped at the 22-yard line. And that is going to be about a 17-yard return, and they will have it at their own 22. Does East Central moving from right to left.
Same result with Adrian Miller grabbing him and dropping him. It is a little better yardage on the return as EMCC is wearing the all-white, Jason. It reminds you of an old Western. You've got the black hats against the white hats, and we'll see who wins in the shootout at the end.
I want to welcome everybody watching on the live video stream and also listening on the EMCC radio network. Mario Asungala will be up under center. I formation, man in motion from far side to near. Quarterback takes the snap, going to leave it with his tailback, who tries to come around near side, gets around the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be bottled up and buried there. I think he's actually going to lose a yard back at the 22, depending on the spot of the football.
Joseph Anderson, the 6'3", 200-pound defensive back, a lot of size there. He was able to make the stop, and EMCC with a nice job on first down. No gain with the football at the 23.
Sagunla, the quarterback. James Smith III was your tailback, and he gets barely back to the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play, and that'll bring up now 2nd down and 10 to go. Ball's going to be placed on the near hash, moving from right to left. We're a minute into the contest, no score. This will be just the second play from scrimmage for either team. Double tight end set, high formation, man in motion from near side to far. Asungala will take the snap, hand it off to his tailback Smith, who goes around the right side and tries to turn it up the hash. He gets out to the 26, so he'll gain 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6 now for this East Central offense.
Ethan McMillan and Connor Breland, the offensive guard and tackle on that right side, did a nice job blowing the hole open, and 3 or 4 yard pickup, bringing up 3rd down and 7, and likely a passing play. I think a screen is a logical opportunity here if something's not open downfield.
Mario Asagunla, a 6'6", 211-pounder from Jackson, Mississippi. It's spelled Asagunla.
Guys, I'm going to point something out. Notice the play clock every time.
Yeah,
they're trying to shorten this ball game.
Absolutely. It's down to 2, and they haven't snapped it yet, down to 0s, and here's the whistle, and I think it's going to be a delay of game on East Central.
That's going to be the call with the back judge throwing the flag. 5-yard penalty. They'll drop it back behind the original line of scrimmage where it started at the 23. They'll drop it back near the 21-yard line. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and long, and that changes things a little bit. And you've got a team that's doing something we haven't seen all year, and that's this will be the 3rd straight snap under center.
Yeah,
they're going to try to shorten the game. As you see, Jason, they're going to stay in the huddle till about the 15, 14-second mark. Then they'll get up to the line and go through their cadence when it gets under 10. The only problem is it doesn't leave you any time for audibles, and then you cannot have penalties like the delay of game.
3 seconds, now 2 seconds, they snap it. Asagunla will hand it off to Smith, goes around the right side. He's bottled up, he's dropped inside the 20-yard line. It's another loss on the play, and EMCC will get the football as coming up to make the tackle, Fred Hervey. And boy, he has been a tackle machine. He had 28 coming in, leading all tacklers for EMCC on defense.
Yeah, he's a ball hawk, always around the ball, and that's a big opportunity to stop on 3rd down and long, and EMCC should get good field position.
So back deep to punt this thing away is Steven Anderson, 20 punts on the year for 714 yards, averaging 35.7 yards a punt. Will take it at his own 5 on the snap, and here's the kick. Coming up under, it's Clayton. He's going to take it on the run, and he's going to be hit, eludes that pressure, and he's going to be dropped out of bounds somewhere across the way near in the neighborhood of the 41-yard line. So EMCC is going to have it at the East Central 41, moving left to right with 12:11 on the clock in the first quarter.
Looked like Torrin Hamilton over there with the stop for the Warriors on the far sidelines. But EMCC with the ball on the 41-yard line. They're 41 yards from pay dirt with 4 wide receivers, Jason, to start this set.
Guys, they weren't far from blocking that one. I wouldn't be surprised if they get one for the Knights out.
Ball placed on the left hash. Miller will take the snap with trips near side. He's looking near side, has backside pressure, fires it over the middle, and it's incomplete near seam. And it was incomplete at the 30-yard line. He was looking for Miller, and it's going to bring up a second down and 10 to go.
Frederick McGee was in coverage, the 5'10", about 175-pound cornerback. And the quarterback sidearmed that football that time, Jason, as Vijay was coming to the near side, feeling some heat.
Miller will move McIntosh from his left shoulder to his right. He hands it off to McIntosh on the snap. He's going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage, but he falls forward to the line of scrimmage at the 41 of East Central. And all that took place between the hash and the numbers across the way, and it will bring up now a 3rd down and 10 situation for the Lions. Clock rolling with 11:50 to go in the first quarter. No score here in Decatur.
Keontae Daniels was coming that time, just trying to turn the play up, did a nice job with the tackle.
4-man front, rush in on the right side. The EMCC set to snap it from the line of scrimmage, which is the East Central 41. Twin receivers either side. Looking towards the left side as Miller fires it left side on a post pattern, and it's caught inside the 25-yard line down at the 23, and it's going to be a first down. 10 to go for EMCC. That's Dontario Drummond with the first down reception, and he is taken off his feet by William Morgan.
They're trying to hurry up the clock, Jason. They're trying to speed things up.
First down, 10 to go from the 23 of East Central. The snap from the left hash, and they fire at miscommunication between Drummond and Miller. Threw it behind Miller inside the 20-yard line over on the far sideline. Miller came in on a little slant, and Vijay threw it on an out route, and it's incomplete. And that'll stop the clock with 11:12 to go in the first quarter.
Connor and Drummond tried to run a little rub pattern there, and it looked like they bumped into each other, and that threw the timing off.
McIntosh now over on the right hip of Vijay Miller. Twin receivers near side, twins to the left side. Miller looking left, pump fakes left, now looks back right, steps up and now takes it forward inside the 15, and he's going to get close to the line of scrimmage. I think he got back to the 24-yard line, or 23, I beg your pardon, which is the original line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up now a 3rd and 10. Ronnie Thomas will take him off his feet. That's not the original. It is the line of scrimmage.
All 4 wide receivers, Jason, ran patterns into the end zone. Great job coverage by the defensive backfield.
Trip receivers wide side of the field, near side. On 3rd and 10 from the 23 of East Central. Here comes pressure. Back to pass, and in the face of pressure, throwing it on a fade pattern left side, incomplete. Miller looking for Drummond down the left sideline, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 10. Clock stops with 10:35 to go in the opening quarter here in East Central. We're on the beautiful campus of East Central, South Division leader at 2-0 in the South Division here at Bailey Stadium.
Had a safety blitz that time from the freshman Daniels. He showed great speed to get back there and get into BJ's face.
Miller will be in the shotgun. McIntosh to his left. Lifts his left leg. He's back to pass. Has pressure. Steps up. He's hit. And he's dropped back at the 25-yard line. And East Central's defense comes up big there. And it's a turnover on downs just around the 25. Their own 25 for East Central. They'll move from right to left now. And coming up is Ronnie Thomas with a huge sack there of Vijay Miller with 10:29 to go in the first quarter.
You feel early in the game, Glenn, that the Warriors are gathering momentum. And looks like they've got a little pep in their step as they head back onto the field.
Well, Jonathan, they're bringing pressure, but they're not bringing it from places you would normally see. They're bringing the corner, they're bringing the safety, and they're just zone blitzing us right now, and they're disguising it really well. And VJ's got to get his eyes up and see that, but they're doing a good job of disguising those blitzes.
Segundo will be in the shotgun this time. Shifts the tight end from left to right now on the snap. Play action to his tailback Smith, and the ball's going to be tipped at the line of scrimmage as he was trying to throw it over the right side at the numbers, and it's incomplete. Second down, 10 to go from just across their own 25-yard line, moving right to left. Clock stops with 10:25 to go here in the first quarter of play. 2nd and 10 for the Warriors.
Big Cy Martin using every bit of that 6'4" frame to throw that hand up and bat the football down at the line of scrimmage. And EMCC getting a little bit of pressure this time on the Warrior quarterback.
And they're taking their time once again, as Glenn pointed out. Now there's 14 on the play clock. They walk up to the line of scrimmage, come down over it. Ball placed middle of the field, near the 26-yard line. He claps his hands. Will take the handoff and does Smith. And Smith is going to be bottled up and dropped for a loss back at the 23-yard line. Both defenses so far flexing their muscles here early on in this early stages of this game.
Boy, Eric Kitchen that time came in and was coming from the right side of the defensive front line and was able to get back and stop that before anything could get going. Big loss there, 3rd down and 13, Jason, as we continue this second possession of the game for the Warriors.
Glenn, last couple of plays, the front four for both East Central and EMCC on defense have won the battle at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was one of my keys to the game. Defensive line's got to win that battle, and that's what they're doing so far.
5-man front for EMCC, and coming in the backfield is Hervey, and he's going to drop Smith for a loss back at the 22-yard line. Came from the right side, but a penalty flag flies.
Jason, that one came in right at the tackle. Probably either going to be a holding or a face mask, but we'll see as the official is ready to make the call.
Glenn, do you have any inkling of what this penalty may be?
It's going to be hands to the face against the defensive line right there. You like to see that your defensive linemen use their hands. And right there was kind of a club and rip right there, but the problem is you cannot get that club up into the head area, and that's what happened.
Thank you, Glenn. Well, that pressure from Hervey he came unblocked from the right side, and they kind of all went to the right. And the right side of the defensive line was Hervey, and he came up behind and got Smith. They brought too many more than could be blocked, and so it's going to be a 1st down and 10 to go after the hands to the face penalty has been assessed against EMCC. So East Central will have it near the 40-yard line, their own 40. They're going to place it down at the 38. Ball will be placed middle of the field at their own 38 for East Central, moving right to left. 9:36 to go in the first quarter and counting.
Had a good defensive stand going there, Jason. Then that big penalty there with the automatic 1st down, and the Warriors have it. And we'll see if they can capitalize on that EMCC mistake.
Seguinla will go up under center now with a lone tailback who's Smith. He hands it off to him, cuts up the middle. He's got some real estate across 45, midfield, sidesteps one tackler, gets inside the 45 down to the EMCC 42-yard line. But penalty flags are flying, and EMCC says it's coming back.
Yeah, that's going to be a hold right there against East Central. Those interior linemen just had too much jersey, and that's why you saw the big running lane right there. They were holding.
Looks like 2 different flags, as we've got one at the point of the snap and then one at the end of the run here. So we'll see here from the official. Both penalties are going to be against the Warriors.
Oh, but I tell you what, you can see why Smith comes in with a lofty 114 yards a game. He did a really good job as he was going for the right, going towards that right corner. He saw just a small crease, guys, and then cut up field with explosion.
We had a chop block against East Central, but East Mississippi had a face mask. Both of those penalties are offsetting. They'll just replay the down.
So it will remain 1st down from their own 38 for East Central. Ball placed middle of the field again. Counting clock now, 9:04 to go here in the first quarter. And East Central, as Glenn pointed out, they really want to speed up this game. And so far, they have dominated with time of possession. Well, I say dominated. They've had it a lot more, though, it seems, than EMCC. EMCC got 1 first down, but then turned the ball over on downs at their own 20, or the East Central 26. Single receiver either side up under center. From the 38, Seguinla will now hand it off to Smith, who comes around the near side, tries to cut up the numbers, and he is going to be tackled for a loss back at the 37. So it will bring up now a 2nd down and 11 situation, and Ontario Johnson comes up and makes a huge tackle.
With Johnson and gang in tow there, Jason, it's going to be hard for the Warriors to get outside on those sweep opportunities, but they're trying to do that to soften up the middle of the defense. EMCC has some very active linebackers, and you want to get those guys moving, and if they'll bite on the play action in a couple of moments, then they're going to have an opportunity to throw the ball across the middle.
Seguinla at 6'6", walks up to his center. Double tight end set, single receiver either side. Ball placed at their own 37 near hash. 2nd down and 11. The snap, they quickly throw it laterally, and it's dropped at the 35-yard line, incomplete.
That was awfully close to a lateral there, Jason, as there was some concern there as EMCC was chasing the ball, but the official on the far side of the field came running in, signaling incomplete.
So we'll bring up a 3rd down 11 from their own 37-yard line. 7:52 to go in the first quarter. No score here in Decatur. East Central has 21 to snap it, and they're now moving over. They were between the hashes. Now they come to the near seam. All huddled up around the 30-yard line. We're not used to this much time to gab a little bit, as usually it's up-tempo for both teams. 7 seconds, now 6 seconds on the play clock. Asagunla will be in the shotgun, claps his hands, receives the football from his own 37 on 3rd and 11. Fires it near side, caught at the first down sticks. It's a first down as he gets to midfield as he tried to curl upfield, and the tackle is going to be made by Kilo Swinney, and also in on the tackle is going to be Ontario Johnson, and making the reception is Jalen Zachary, who was wide open in the flat near side.
Well, that freshman there from Dayton, Ohio, Jalen Zachary, did a great job getting open as he came back to the football, Jason. When the quarterback threw it, he caught the ball and turned back toward the middle of the field. And now, first down and 10 from the midfield stripe for the Warriors.
7:23 and counting here in the first quarter. 13 on the play clock. Now, Asagunla will slap his hands as his offensive line runs up to the line of scrimmage, which is midfield. First down, 10 to go. He's up under center, will take the snap, turns, hands it off to Smith. Smith tries to cut upfield. He's going to break a couple of tackles. Stiff arm at the 48, and he's loose inside the 35, and he trucks over a man at the 30-yard line. And taking the brunt of that hit is going to be number 27, Josh Miller, but he does bring him down, and it's another first down for the Warriors there at the EMCC 30, and making the tackle once again is Josh Miller. And as I mentioned, he just got absolutely trucked there, but he held on for the tackle.
What a great job by Smith bouncing off people, Jason, to get down into the secondary. Picks up about 20 yards there in a huge play with the Warriors now heading toward the pay dirt.
Yeah, Jonathan, he's 5'8", 155, so he's certainly not one of the biggest backs, but boy, he runs with good pad level, runs with great speed, and not afraid of contact there.
Good balance, too.
Now we have a new tailback who's come into the contest. It looks like that's going to be Marquavius Qualls, but we have a whistle and a timeout on the field. 6:29 to go in the opening quarter. Timeout EMCC. We'll take it with them. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. East Central has the ball at the EMCC 30-yard line. Ball will be placed on the left hash, which is near side. And trotting back out there as he was about to take a rep was Marquavius Qualls, a 5'8" freshman from Lake, Mississippi, weighing 156. Asagunla will go up under center with that double tight end set. Single receiver either side. Ball placed on the near hash. The snap for the Lion 30. Turns, leaves it with his tailback. And Qualls is going to break a couple of tackles. Gets inside the 20, inside the 15. Hit from behind and dropped around the 13-yard line. And Glenn, right now, it was EMCC that was just owning that line of scrimmage on that defensive front. But these running backs are finding some holes, and then they're getting lots of yards after getting past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Jason, you're absolutely right. The offensive line is kind of doing as they wish, and that little back of East Central, he doesn't need much of a crease. He's able to get through there, and he's picked up some tough yards. And, you know, with the game plan that East Central has, they're executing it to perfection right now. They're taking their time, eating a lot of clock. The main thing is they're getting first downs and keeping the ball out of the hands of the offense of East Mississippi.
Down to the EMCC 14. Here's the snap for the 14. They turn, hand it off near side to Qualls, but he goes straight up the middle and gets down to about the 10-yard line. That's a gain of 4. Guys, what they're doing is it's like they're stretching either side, but then those backs will just all of a sudden cut once that flow of that defense is going one way, and then they're finding some creases there.
Yeah, great job. Great game plan, as Glenn talked about. But EMCC is missing a lot of tackles, Jason. That last nice run that they had, they missed 3 tackles on that particular play. You got to get up there and you got to stop the guy in the first opportunity you get, because we should have got him at the line of scrimmage.
13 on the play clock and counting. Now they'll break huddle, and they'll come up on the line of scrimmage, which is the 10-yard line. It will be a 2nd and 6 after the gain of 4 by Qualls. They're knocking on that north end zone door as East Central. The snap, flow of the field goes to the right, and going to the right side is Qualls, and he is going to get down to about the 5-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 5 and near a first down. Depends on a left foot, right foot spot. Also, Gunla is on the near side, already getting his play, but they're not going to sweat the time ticking down.
Yeah, Jason, if you'll notice, at the point of attack, whether they go right or left, they're attacking the defensive tackles. They're double teaming those guys and then sliding off at the last second to the backer. We've got to get better linebacker play to be able to stop this run.
That's what Kentucky did to Mississippi State, and it's what East Central's doing to EMCC. 3rd down and 1 near the 5-yard line of EMCC. Man in motion from right to left. Here's the snap by the quarterback. Will turn. He leaves it with his tailback, and that's Smith, and he's going to get inside the 5. He'll have a first down, and he's going to be in the neighborhood of the 3-yard line, and there's a big pile-up and scrum inside the 5-yard line. Kind of looked like rugby there for a moment. With 3:53 to go in the opening quarter, it's now 1st down and goal to go for East Central, and EMCC defensively kind of looks a little shell-shocked right now.
Yeah, they do, and they were trying to strip the ball there in the middle of the pile. They were holding up the running back and trying to take the ball from him. But these small little running backs, they were making those quick darting plays early on, now look like power backs down inside the 5 because they're not running anything special. They're running right at those defensive tackles, as Glenn mentioned.
Smith, 114 yards on the ground a game, but only 1 rushing touchdown this season. That's just almost hard to believe. And he's going to be lined up as the tailback of the I formation. Man in motion from near side to far. They hand it off to Smith. Stretch play near side. No, it's a fake. They throw it, and it's caught in near the pylon. Touchdown, East Central. And I think that's Ray Thomas, the tight end, who catches it in the flat on the right side. And there's a lot of people that bought that play, including yours truly right here. Touchdown from 3 yards out through the air.
Got a flag in the back of the end zone. However, Jason, that's going to go against East Mississippi. That was defensive holding. That obviously will be declined. It'll be a touchdown for East Central.
Thank you, Glenn. That's the 11th touchdown pass for Asagunla on the season. Now we know why Smith only has 1 rushing touchdown. They probably do a lot of that because they'll run the football up and down the field, and then they'll find their tight ends. And that was a great play fake that time by the quarterback. The snap back. Here's the kick by Cox, and it is through. No, he missed it. I beg your pardon. He missed it. And it's going to be 6-0.
Pulled it left.
Pulled it left. Thank you, Glenn. Glenn standing right down there on the field. He could see it better than I could. 6-0 is your score. The kick to the Lions when we return in 30 seconds. This is the EMCC.
Nine to go in the first quarter play. We're in Decatur, Mississippi. The Warriors of East Central leading EMCC 6-0. Now the Warriors will kick off, and the EMCC will have their second possession of the game, and we're almost completely done with the first quarter.
Sam Cox has missed now 3 extra points. He was 6 of 8 coming in, pulled it left, and it's 6-0 East Central after the 3-yard touchdown pass to the tight end from the quarterback, taken in the end zone by EMCC, out across the 15, 20, and diving up to the 25-yard line over on the far side. That's Boykin who brought that one back. He's going to bring it out to around the 25-yard return for Braden Boykin, the smallest man on the field, but has the biggest heart and the biggest pop on special teams, I would say. He's had a couple of blocked punts in his career, one last week against Mississippi Delta. So the Lions could take the lead with a touchdown and a made PAT. There's now 3:01 to go here in the first quarter. Vijay Miller will be in the shotgun. Ball's going to be placed just across the 25 up to the 26, so an official 26-yard return. Firing it over on the far sideline, looking for Drummond, just overshoots him at midfield. Drummond had a step or two on his defender, but it's going to fall incomplete as it went just too far out in front of Drummond, and it's now 2nd and 10. And the problem with EMCC is they haven't been playing behind the stick, so to speak, but they've been not getting much on first down, and so it's bringing up 2nd and 3rd long. It's 2nd and 3rd and long. Twin receivers either side. Wide side of the field is near side. Miller has McIntosh flanked to his left. He'll fire it out of the backfield. He was looking for McIntosh, and it's incomplete at the 25-yard line. Threw it behind him and hit him on his hip. And it's going to be 3rd and 10. And Glenn, as I mentioned to Jonathan just a moment ago, that's been EMCC's problem. They haven't been able to get any kind of rhythm on offense as they've been playing on 2nd and 3rd and long.
It's been a timing issue, Jason, here early in the game for EMCC. Quarterback hasn't thrown the ball when his receivers are ready for it and just a little off keel.
Reddix has now entered the game. Here's the snap, eluding pressure, rolling to his left is Vijay Miller going to take it himself. He's going to be dragged out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of about 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up now a 4th down and 3, but EMCC surely is going to punt it away. Yes, they are. Here comes the punt team. Is coming out onto the field now to punt this one away will be Johnny Moss. 10 punts this season, 413 yards for a 41.3-yard average. Back deep to receive will be DePondre Coburn, a freshman out of Noxapater, Mississippi.
Quarterback Miller is hurt on the far sidelines after that high tackle.
Yeah, Jason, VJ's down on the near sideline, or the far sideline to you. The training staff looking at him, his left ankle looks like. So I'm pretty sure we'll see Messiah DeWeaver next offensive possession. Guys, but the problem is if East Mississippi can't get some rhythm going offensively, the game plan that East Central has, you're looking at probably 4, maybe 5 possessions less in the ball game that East Mississippi's offense will have to score.
That's correct. And now penalty flags fly as EMCC snaps the ball, and the punt was actually gotten off by Moss, but it's going to be a penalty flag on a pre-snap penalty here, and it's going to be against EMCC. And the Lions now are self-destructing a little bit here on this drive. Now with another penalty in this game, they have a couple. We'll check the penalty marks. 3 penalties for 26 yards now, just 1 for 5 yards for East Central.
Yeah, EMCC is very frustrated, Jason. Their offensive staff, their offensive players as well, very frustrated with this opportunity that they've been having in the first half, playing behind the sticks.
Oh, and it's going to be shanked, and it's going to come to the near side. It's going to bounce at the 48 of EMCC, and it's going to roll into East Central territory down to the 47, and that's where EMCC is going to have it. He was standing on the far hash and kicked it to the near side numbers, did Johnny Moss, and that thing looked like a wobbly duck as it went off his foot. And East Central is going to have great field position, their own 47-yard line, moving right to left. 1:42 to go in the opening quarter, and they have dominated time of possession here in this opening quarter. EMCC just 4 carries, 11 carries for East Central. Just 4 yards gained by the Lions, 44 by East Central. Sagunla will be up under center, will take the snap, leave it with his tailback, and he's going to go straight up the middle. He's going to gain a couple of yards up to midfield. So gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 on the play. Ontario Johnson in with the other host of Lions to make a tackle there. It's 6-0 East Central. Clock winding down here in the first quarter with 1:25 and counting. In this opening period where East Central their game plan has worked so far. EMCC just has not been in rhythm on offense. They've had a couple of penalties that have hurt them so far here in the first quarter. And then that defensive front was dominating early on. Now, all of a sudden, East Central's just found a couple of holes with their tailbacks, led by Smith. That's James Smith, who's flanked a little bit to the left of the quarterback. Sagunla will take the snap, will hand it off to Smith. He goes straight up the middle. He's going to get into Lion territory down to the 46-yard line. Gain of 4. Fred Hervey will make the stop for EMCC, so it's going to bring up now a 3rd down and 3 situation.
Lions are not doing a very good job getting into the backfield to blow up the play, Jason. They're having plenty of opportunity to stay in sync and hand the ball off, and for the running back to look for the hole. He's patient. He's doing a great job doing that. EMCC's got to get back in the backfield and blow that play up quickly.
Sagunla looks back to the near sideline, gets his play, translates that to the huddle, Now they'll come up on the line of scrimmage quickly with 5 seconds, now 4 seconds to snap it. Up under center is Segundo. He'll turn and hand it off to Smith. Smith tries to cut upfield again, and this time he's dropped at the line of scrimmage. Back in the 46, E.J. Woods will come up and make a tackle for loss, and that's going to run out the clock here in the first quarter. EMCC trying to find some momentum. They trail at 6-0 at the end of one. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter from Decatur at Bailey Stadium. This is the EMCC Football Network. Fourth down and 3 situation now for East Central. So they're going to punt this football away. They go in like a wildcat. Oh, they're going to throw it over the middle. It's incomplete, and EMCC is going to get it at the East Central 48. And they brought Kevontae Caston out there, and I was a little confused. Well, it's a wildcat. He was kind of backed up, not shotgun, a little bit further back than shotgun. But wow, I thought maybe, well, he's going to pooch it if he doesn't have anything as he rolls to the near side, but then he cocked and fired over the middle. Glenn, he had a man that had a step, but just couldn't find him there inside the 35 of EMCC.
He actually had more than a step, Jason. Had he caught that ball, he probably scores. Very well-designed play. I don't know what the discussion is at midfield.
There's a penalty flag, it looks like, at the 49-yard line. And it's going to be a penalty on East Central.
Possible illegal formation, maybe. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. Sometimes that happens when you go to that wildcat formation.
Correct.
People aren't on the line like they should be. It's usually the quarterback because he's out at wide receiver.
Now they're going to wave the flag off.
They were trying to discuss if it was going to be an automatic 5 yards happening before the snap. But they were finally determined that EMCC wanted to decline that penalty. And now a new quarterback onto the field for the Lions, and we'll see if we can get on tap and get into a rhythm here on offense on the third possession of the game.
And I beg your pardon, I said the East Central 46, I meant the EMCC 46. So they're 4 yards away from being inside Warrior territory. A little snap and a little sweep play and a little pitch to Connor. He goes around the far side, and he's going to have the first down and more, hit hard as he is going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. But that is going to be enough for 11 yards, and EMCC has it first down 2 to go from the 43. Here's the snap. They leave it with McIntosh, does to Weaver, and he goes straight up the middle, and he is going to get inside the 40-yard line, and he's going to be stopped around the 34. And so far, guys, it looks like EMCC on their first 2 plays in rhythm here. And DeWeaver is going to be in the shotgun, ready to snap it here momentarily. Twin receivers either side. Ball placed on the right hash, which is the far hash. They leave it with McIntosh. Tries to get the edge on the outside. Dives over the 30-yard line and some would-be tacklers and gets down to the 27 to move the chains. Oh, my goodness. McIntosh showing some acrobatic moves over there on the far sideline.
Great job, Jason, by the offensive line. They are really blocking well, and EMCC is moving the ball, and it's all happening from the point of attack.
Same formation as last. Snap to DeWeaver in the shotgun. Leaves it with his tailback. And McIntosh is going to have him grab his ankle around the 29-yard line. They're going to say his forward progress got him down to the 28, which is near the line of scrimmage. And he's not going to gain any there, and it's going to bring up now a 2nd and 10 situation.
DeWeaver brings a little bit more crispness into the ball game, Jason. He is making decisions very quickly, very deliberately, and his team is responding.
Snap with 13:23 to go before halftime. DeWeaver's going to be tripped up and dropped back at the 32-yard line. He's going to lose 4 yards on the play.
Right on cue, the defense comes through and makes the sack. But DeWeaver has brought in a little bit of a different look on the offensive side, a little bit more confidence. He should have thrown that ball away, though, on that second down. Now it's 3rd and long.
William Morgan will make the sack. So on 3rd and 15 now, a timeout's going to be called by Buddy Stevens. Buddy was almost to the numbers, calling the timeout, and EMCC with 3rd and 15 when we return in 30 seconds. They're down to the 32 of East Central, moving from right to left, trailing 6-0 with 12:54 to go here in the first half. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. Yards. Okay. Vijay Miller, yeah. I don't know. It says knee is heavily taped. Kind of early to call that, but.
Probably ACL.
7 plays, 54 yards, time clock, 2 minutes and 10 seconds, 16-yard touchdown run by Deion McIntosh, his 9th rushing touchdown of the season. That capped the drive. The PAT was made successfully by Josh Smith, and it's 7-6, EMCC with the lead. Smith has it teed up at the 35. He's going to be kicking from right to left. Back deep to receive. Cavante Caston will stand inside the 5 near hash. Smith comes upon it, kicks it. It's high, end over end. And coming up under it and taking it at the 10 is Caston, out across the 15, 20, up the near seam, 25, still on his feet up to around the 30-yard line. And that's going to be a 20-yard return for Caston. And East Central is going to have it first down, 10 to go from their own 30. Joseph Anderson will come up and make the tackle on special teams.
Jason, taking a look back at the first quarter, how many times have we seen EMCC since we've been broadcasting games here have the ball only 2 times in the first quarter? Great job by the Warriors controlling that first quarter with time of possession. They had it for 11 minutes and 51 seconds. EMCC only 3 minutes. But here in the second quarter, the Lions take that initial drive in the quarter down and plunge it into the end zone and have taken the lead.
6 to snap it, now 5. Ball placed near hash at the 29-yard line. The snap by the quarterback will turn, hand it to Smith. Smith tries to cut upfield, gets out across the 30, up to about the 33. He'll gain roughly 3.5 yards on the play. Also, Gunla does a great job running this offense. Making the tackle for EMCC is Shavaki Harrington, a 5'10", 175-pound defensive back from Natchez, Mississippi. So they'll give him a gain of 4. Spot of the football is the 33. Second down and 6 to go. Clock rolling with 12 minutes to go before halftime.
The thing you notice about Asa Gunla, Jason, is his ability to run this game plan of using clock, shortening the ball game. He's a very poised young man.
Asa Gunla will go up under center, facing a 5-man front. Snaps, turns, leaves it with his tailback Smith. He's going to run into a wall there, and he's going to be hit and dropped. Falling forward, though, up to about the 35-yard line for a gain of 2. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 situation. Ball is going to be placed in the middle of the field at their own 35, moving from left to right.
Ontario Johnson, one of the young men getting up off the bottom of the pile. We haven't called his name a lot tonight, but he's a guy that's been in pursuit of the football. You've got the linebacking core. You've got Hervey. You've got Johnson. Guys that really love to be part of making the tackle and being part of the physicality of this defense, and we'll see if that can continue.
Jonathan, they break huddle with 13 on the play clock. They're getting set with 7 on the play clock. Also, Gunla will be in the shotgun, has Smith flanked over his left shoulder. Turns, fakes to give to him, will fire it near seam on a post pattern, and it's incomplete on the skinny post at the 47-yard line, and it's going to bring up now a 4th down and 4, and all they got to do is pitch and catch there, and they have a first down.
I think Ontario Johnson got into the vision of the young man that was the wide receiver, Caston, that was open, and the ball hit Caston in the hands, and he dropped it. Brings up 4th down. EMCC is going to get another offensive opportunity.
Coming up to punt the football, Steven Anderson with that 35.7 yard per kick average will stand at his own 21-yard line. They'll snap it from the 35. He gets his first block. It's blocked. It's blocked by Miller, and it's going to be picked up by EMCC. Inside the 15, 10, 5, down the near sideline. Touchdown, Lions. Josh Miller picks up the block by Adrian Miller and takes it into the end zone for the touchdown of some 25-plus yards. And the Lions now are up 13-6 pending the PAT. The second game in a row we've had a block punt and a scoop and score. Your Lions have now extended the lead.
Great job, Jason, by EMCC that time, getting a lot of the momentum back. It was all Warriors in the first quarter. So far to this point in the second quarter, it's been all EMCC.
Well, it was Miller who picked it up and took it to the house on a block by Boykin last week. Now Adrian Miller gets the block, and it's Josh Miller who takes it to the house. The PAT is successful. It's 14-6 EMCC. The Lions have scored on offense, and they've scored on special teams. We'll return in a moment to Decatur, Mississippi. For more first half action, you're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. Warriors here in Decatur, Mississippi. Another block, punt, and scoop and score for EMCC tonight. Adrian Miller with the block, and it was officially a 27-yard scoop and score on that block punt by Josh Miller. And so Josh Smith now is going to kick it from right to left, make sure his kick team is ready, comes up on it, kicks it at the 35. High end over end. Backing up is Caston. He'll take it at the 5. Gets out across the 10, middle of the field, tries to angle near side, cross 15, cross 20, and he is going to get up to about the 21-yard line. And we have a penalty flag that's lying near the 37-yard line on the near side, and I heard someone here in our booth say offsides. So this one could be coming back, and EMCC could be kicking it again.
Jason, that's the type penalties that just, as a coach, just frustrates your team. It's not hard. If you're the kickoff team, stay on side. It's a timing thing. That's the second offsides penalty tonight on the kickoff team.
Yeah, penalties are really going to frustrate Buddy Stevens here from the first half, as EMCC has now 4 penalties for 31 yards. So the Lions are going to break huddle from across the way as they were talking to the coaching staff. Cliff Collins, one of the ones talking to the kick team as they come out backed up to the 30-yard line now, as Smith will have to re-tee it up. Josh Smith, 5'9", 165, a freshman from Tupelo High School. 3-1 is East Central, by the way. They lost at Northwest to start the season 28-24, and they have reeled off 3 straight wins. One at Itawamba and Fulton, 34-28. One here against Southwest, 28-21, and then went on the road to Pearl River, winning by 3, 24-21. Smith comes up on it, kicks it with his right leg. It's a high kick. It's going to be short, and it's going to bounce in no man's land inside the 25, and it's going to bounce out of bounds. So they'll have the option to either re-kick it or East Central take it on the 35. East Central has that option, not EMCC, as it sounded like I was indicating. So East Central, I think, is going to elect to take it at their own 35-yard line. 40, I beg your pardon. Moving from left to right.
It's been something to see the momentum change, Jason. As we began the game, you could tell the Warriors were ready to play this ball game and had all the momentum early. Then when that second quarter came, EMCC with a nice long drive into the end zone for the touchdown, and then the block punt, and they score, scoop and score. The Warriors have done a great job, though, keeping the EMCC offense off the field here in the first half of the game. However, it is 14-7.
Segundo will be up under center. Will take the snap in his 6'6" frame. Will hand it off to the 5'8" frame of Josh Smith, who will be stopped behind the line of scrimmage at the 39.5-yard line, so a half-yard loss, and it's going to bring up now second down and long. Jeremiah Brazil, a defensive lineman from Gulfport, Mississippi, standing at 6'1", 280, will come up and make the tackle. I want to say hello to a very, very faithful EMCC fan and EMCC football radio listener, the Silverback. Appreciate you, Mr. Rice, for always supporting the EMCC radio network and the EMCC Lions. Couldn't be here tonight, but is listening somewhere here in the listening area. 14-6, EMCC on top. Under 10 to play here in the second quarter. A little snap near hash from the 39. We'll hand it off to Smith, and he's going to dance around, gets out across the 45 up the near seam, and he's going to be dropped around the 47.
A lot of patience there from Smith, Jason, as he started to come toward the offensive tackle position. He stopped and stutter stepped, made a man miss, and picked up 9 yards, or nice yardage, bringing up third down and short. Now he's distracted there for a moment with the EMCC player trying to get off the field prior to the snap.
Yeah, that was Jeremiah Brazil, who was trying to get off quickly. And the officials called that timeout. I think it was a substitution, having to allot the defense time to get a substitution there. But now East Central wasn't going to snap the ball at first. Maybe was going to try to snap it to get him off sides, but they have been bleeding that clock all night. Hit and drop back at the 46-yard line for a loss on the play of 1, and that will bring up now a 4th down and 3. They had a 3rd and 2 from their own 48-yard line. Now they're going to say it went back to the 46.
We've got a penalty flag in the secondary, the wide receiver and the defensive back, a little jawing. Don't know if they're going to call offsetting penalties or just against East Mississippi. Looks like it's just going to go against East Mississippi.
That's a costly penalty. I mean, your defense was about to come off the field. You had them stopped. It was going to be a 4th and 4. They were going to have to kick this thing away as they had it at their own 46, and now they're going to have it in your territory down at the 39-yard line over a senseless penalty.
Lions certainly aren't helping themselves tonight with those penalties that are killing this team. There's been several times, 2 or 3 times already tonight on 3rd down when they've got an opportunity to get off the field that there's been a penalty, and the Warriors have had a chance to extend their drive.
5 penalties for 46 yards tonight, all here in the first half. Obviously, we're still in the first half of play. I formation. Asagunla's up under center, takes the snap, play action. He drops back deep, fires down the near sideline, has a man open, but overshoots him. Oh, he would have scored easily in that. He is Jalen Zachary. He had the defense beat on the play action, and Glenn, he just misfires that beautiful-looking play.
Yeah, Zachary just ran right by the cornerback and safety.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Jason. Just too much adrenaline. He saw his guy wide open. All he had to do was play catch with him, but thankfully he overshot his man because the secondary allowed the receiver to get behind him. You know, that's a cardinal sin. You cannot let the wide receiver get behind you. And but anyway, falls incomplete. Second down and 10, 39.
Also, Gunla goes up under center there at the 39, as Glenn mentioned. The 39 of EMCC will hand it off to Smith this time. Squirts through a little bit. Well, he had nothing around the line of scrimmage at the 39, and all of a sudden he squirts down to the 36 for a gain of 3. He was running through white shirts, and I don't know where he was finding the seam there, but it will bring up a third long situation, 3rd and 7 as the clock rolls under 8 minutes to play here in the first half. We're in the second quarter in Decatur, Mississippi, on the campus of East Central at Bailey Stadium. EMCC leads it 14-6. East Central trying to get back on the board. The ball will be placed on the near hash with trips to the left, which is the wide side of the field. Moving from left to right. Quarterback slaps his hands. Gunla now will have to avoid inside pressure. Rolls to the left, fires it down the field, and it's up for grabs. Tipped around, intercepted by EMCC in the end zone. On the tip trail, and the Lions will have it at their own 20, but there's a penalty flag. There's penalty flags all over the field.
Yeah, Jason, I think they're going to have pass interference. It's going to go against East Central. So that's going to be an interception. He got his feet down in the end zone before he went out of bounds. His momentum took him out of bounds, and penalty flag's going to go against East Central.
Great concentration by the defensive back on the tip drill. The ball was tipped, and the defensive back able to get the ball and get his foot down in bounds. He was awfully close to the sideline.
And that he is Jacob Anderson, who was over on the far side of the field when he took the tip drill, kept his toes in bounds. But now we have another penalty, which we mentioned another penalty flag was at the 41, and this is going to be offsetting now.
Yeah, you had roughing the passer against the defense, but pass interference against the offense. Those penalties will offset. East Mississippi will maintain possession of the football because the interception happened. Well, actually, I think they're bringing the defense back on the field.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's offsetting penalties. And East Central will have it, and they're going to replay the down on 3rd and 7. So what a terrible chain of events, and that's another costly penalty by EMCC.
Yeah, you get a turnover there. You got to come back up here and replay that 3rd down. And you can bet the quarterback's not going to make that same mistake again. And we've seen it time and time again. The Warriors are capitalizing on those EMCC turnovers or penalties.
Ball placed on the near hash. That penalty doesn't go in the stat sheet, but it does cost EMCC ball possession. Trips left wide side of the field. A Sagunla back to pass. Screen pass on the split screen near side. And it's called inside the 20, inside the 15, and tripped up around the 12-yard line. And that's the backup tailback, Marquavius Qualls, out of Lake, Mississippi. He squirts free and gets down to the 12-yard line where he's tripped up. I thought he might go there for a moment.
Great job by the offensive line sealing those 2 blocks on the corner. Once they did that, he turned upfield. It was huge yardage.
Now East Central's going fast. They give it to Qualls. He goes off left tackle, gets inside the 10 this time, down to about the 8-yard line. That will be a gain of 4, so it will bring up now 2nd down and 6.
7 minutes to go in the second quarter. The EMCC line defense has been on the field an awful long time tonight.
Yeah, and that's exactly what East Central was trying to take advantage of. They wanted to come up and snap it quickly, trying to catch this EMCC defense with their hands on their hips, and now we have them slowing down, or is their timeout called? No, they haven't started the play clock yet. Now they're starting the play clock. EMCC is substituting some guys, and now we have a whistle, and a timeout's going to be called. And who's calling it? EMCC.
That's their 3rd timeout.
So the Lions will take their 3rd and final timeout with 6:58 to go in the second quarter. 14-6, EMCC on top of the home team, East Central Warriors. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network.
.658 to go. Second quarter of play, Jason. I just want to take a moment and thank the folks for EMCC for allowing WFCA and the entire EMCC Football Network to broadcast these ball games. It's been a privilege all these years of doing it. We look forward to doing it week after week. You do a terrific job. So thank you to the folks from EMCC for having us broadcast these games.
Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate you joining the team this year. Here's the snap for the 8-yard line. They'll leave it with Qualls. Goes around the left side. He's going to run into a wall at the 6-yard line after a gain of 2. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and short situation.
Qualls just took that handoff, Jason, right over left guard, and even when he was down laying on top of the tackler, his feet were still kicking. He was still trying to move forward and gain yardage. That's a sign of a great back. 3rd down and 5, so a big 3rd down situation here for the Lion defense.
Cy Martin Jr. will be a long 4 as they spot it in the neighborhood of the 7-yard line. Cy Martin Jr., 6'4", 240, the LSU transfer from New Orleans, made the tackle of Qualls a moment ago. Alsagunla will be up under the center, will take the snap, play action, rolls to the near side of the bootleg, had a tight end wide open at the 4-yard line, and he overshoots him, his intended target, Torian Hamilton, the 6'5", 235-pounder from Starkville Academy. How in the world do you overthrow 6'5" when he's wide open? Wow.
I don't know, but it was almost an identical play that they ran earlier on their touchdown possession. The receiver was absolutely wide open, nobody within 15 yards. If the quarterback had just thrown with a little bit of touch on that football, it would have been an easy score for the Warriors.
24-yard field goal attempt with the ball placed middle of the field, 25, I beg your pardon. 1 yard off. Coming out to attempt it is going to be Sam Cox. Here's the snapback, the hold, the kick. It is good. Goes right through the uprights and good, and it's now 14-9. After Sam Cox makes his 2nd field goal of the season, he is now 2 for 3. And he makes it from 25 yards out, and it's 14-9. EMCC on top, back in 30 seconds with a kick to EMCC. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. Say hello to Mr. Don Vaughn back at the WGTC EMCC radio studios, manning the game tonight and passing along some compliments to the broadcast crew. We'll pass those along down to Glenn maybe a little bit later on. 14-9, I beg your pardon, after the 25-yard field goal was made a moment ago by Sam Cox. East Central is now back into this ball game with 6:07 to go here in the 2nd quarter. High end-over-end kick, and it's going to go inside the goal line, taken by Boykin between the numbers and the hash near side. 10-15 has a hole, 20, 25, 30, and he's going to get out to the 36-yard line. Boy, you cannot give him a seam or he is going to take it. He's got lightning speed, and he brings it some 36 yards out of the end zone. He had a 35-yard return on his last kick return, now 36 yards this time.
Boykin's one of those special players that has great instincts, as when he caught that ball and looked up, he saw that little bitty seam that he needed right around the 20-yard line, and when he hit that seam and busted outside, it was hard to catch him as they got a great return up to the 36.
First down, 10 to go from there, their own 36, ball near hash. Trips to the right, they bring a man in motion from far side to near. Here's the snap play action, going to throw it to that man in motion near side. He catches it as he was about to go out of bounds at the 38, and he's going to bring it out across the 45, and making the receptions Rashad Eads from Macon, Mississippi. But we've got penalty flags, and if the crowd's right, it's holding, because they all started yelling holding and then applauded once the penalty flag was thrown. And I missed who that holding penalty was on. I was trying to watch Eads concentrate on that football. He was about to, his momentum was taking him out of bounds at the 38-yard line, and he juggled the ball. Then once he secured it, he cut up field. So that'll back EMCC up inside the 35 at about the 33. The nose of the football will be close to the near hash at the 33-yard line. Twin receivers to the right, twins to the near side. Back flank to the right shoulder of Messiah Weaver. Inside pressure, has to roll to the right, squares and fires, has a man open, and he catches it at about the 38. He gets out across the 41-yard line, and making the receptions, Jason Brownlee. And so Brownlee will get a nice gain of about 5 yards on the play, so EMCC will have it at their own 41. And it's now 2nd and 5. The snap to DeWeaver. Leaves it with McIntosh. Goes straight up the middle. It's a big hole. He's inside East Central territory. Breaks a tackle at the 48 and dives forward inside the 45 at the 44. And will move the chains. Another first down for EMCC with 5:06 to go before halftime.
What a great handoff. The little delay handoff to the running back. Big yardage. EMCC is moving the football, snapping it fast.
DeWeaver with the snap. Dances around in the pocket. Steps up. It's going to be hit from behind. Tries to spin out of the tackle. And going to be dropped to the 46-yard line. So he will lose a yard on the play as he is sacked. And making the sack is going to be Tellis Cole. Tellis Cole is a 6'3" linebacker from Newton County, from Hickory, Mississippi. Played at Newton County. Twin receivers to the right, twins to the near side. DeWeaver in the shotgun, races his left leg at the 50-yard line. Take the snap, fired over the middle, and it's caught by Reddix. He's inside the 35. He's going to have the first down as they drag him down to the 32. Caleb Reddix will make a big reception. Reddix has been a huge asset to Buddy Stevens' offense in the passing game this season. 6'2", 210, a sophomore from Biloxi. 4:15 and counting now. Here in the second quarter, EMCC quickly trying to get into that north end zone. 14-9, the Lions lead it. There's 20 to snap it. DeWeaver snaps it in the shotgun from the 32, inside handoff, and being dropped at the 30-yard line is the tailback. And that is going to be Keon Moore. Keon Moore with a couple of yards there, making the tackle. Ronnie Thomas, we've called out his name a lot, played at Clinton High School, former Arrow, now a Warrior. The snap from the 30 from East Central, and will fire it down the far sideline of the fade pattern. It's oh my goodness, out of his hands. He was looking for Brownlee, and it goes off his legs, and it bounces forward into the back, out of the back of the end zone, and it is incomplete. And that will bring up now 3rd down and a long 8 to go from the 30-yard line.
The defender must have gotten his hand on the ball, Jason. I don't know how you missed that. That was a wide open, great throw by the quarterback. Great job getting behind the secondary by the receiver. You just couldn't ask for a better setup than that.
Drummond and Reddix near side, throws it near sides, finding Reddix, and he's going to be hit hard as he got back to the 30-yard line. Forward progress, they're going to say, was made. Well, that's a really good spot down to the 28-yard line.
Was a nice spot. Great job by the defense there. They read that play and hit the receiver as soon as he touched the ball.
So it's going to be a gain of 2 on the play. They'll bring up a 4th and 6. EMCC with 3:13 and counting here in the second quarter. They're going for it, up 14-9. They're down to the East Central 28-yard line. DeWeaver fires it over the middle, has a man open, and just overshoots him, and that man gets clobbered at the 5-yard line. Here's the penalty flag, and that's targeting. It's a defenseless receiver who was reaching down to try to catch the football. He wasn't going to catch it, reaching for his ankles, and he gets absolutely walloped, and he's rolling over on the field inside the 5. Glenn, I can't see who the receiver is.
That's Reddix, guys. He is down as he was hit. As you said, Jason, that's going to be targeting. That player will be ejected. Didn't get the number, but now Reddix is coming up.
And he's going to walk off on his own accord. And I missed who made the big hit. And making the big hit was going to be Keontae Daniels, the sophomore defensive back out of Noxapater, Mississippi.
You know, Jason, DeWeaver, he made the right read, but he's slightly underthrowing these wide receivers. Just like Brownlee a while ago when he got behind the secondary, he underthrew that ball too. He's got to step on into his throws so they get there to the guys and they're not being kind of hung out to dry like that.
Thank you, Glenn. Drummond's going to be your wide out near side. Julian Connor, your slot receiver near side. Rashad Eads, slot receiver to the right of the formation, and Adrian Miller, your wide out. As the spot of the football is going to be inside the 15-yard line, and now we have a timeout on the field. And East Central is going to call it. Some of the crowd still booing, but that was an illegal hit that was made on Reddix at the 5-yard line. Spot of the football now just inside the 15 of East Central. EMCC will have it first down, 10 to go. 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. 14-9, EMCC on top. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. of East Central. So EMCC will have it just inside the 15 at the 14. Fade pattern on the play action, looking for Toronto. Does he catch it? Oh, my goodness. That would have been outstanding. He tried to hold on with his right hand, and he couldn't do it. Incomplete, but we can't fault him. That was a tough catch to haul in. Decent throw, just well covered that time by East Central.
DeWeaver is very intentional on his motion when he throws the ball. Very poised, very deliberate, very almost a slow release.
And now McIntosh is going to try to go around the right side, and he is going to be dropped for a loss back at the 16-yard line. So EMCC now is going to have a third down and long situation. Spotted the football at the 16 of East Central, 3rd and 13. After the loss of 3 on the play. 2nd and 17, 2 minutes and 15 seconds rather, and counting in the second quarter. 3rd and 13 for EMCC at the East Central 16. Lifting his right leg is going to be DeWeaver. Pressure's coming, and now we have penalty flags flying, and it's a false start on EMCC.
Yeah, the offensive line moved just a little bit too soon. That's going to go against the Lions, back them up another 5 yards. This third down is becoming a little bit adventurous, as it'll be 3rd down and 18 for the Lions. Ball will be spotted on the 22.
7 penalties for 61 yards now for EMCC. Trip receivers wide side of the field, near side. Single receiver on the right side. McIntosh over the right shoulder of DeWeaver. Rolls to his right on the snap from the 22. He'll fire it to his check down, and it's going to be complete. Oh, goodness, I thought they were going to say incomplete. And it's complete at the 11-yard line, and it's going to bring up now a 4th down situation. It was 3rd and 18. Spot of the football is the 11. And now we're going to see a field goal attempted by EMCC. Second quarter of play, Hines hosting Pearl River. They're leading 22-6. Up in Senatobia, Mississippi, Northwest Mississippi Community College on top of Holmes, 14-7 in the second quarter. 28-yard field goal attempt coming up now for Josh Smith. Boykin will hold it. Here's the snap back, the hold, the kick, and it is no good. He went wide left.
He pulled it left, guys, but penalty flag is going to be either running or roughing into the kicker. Either way, it's going to be right at the first down. If it's roughing the kicker, it's going to be a fresh set of downs. First down and goal for the Lions.
1:47 to go before halftime. Minnewanba leading
personal foul.
Northeast Mississippi in the second quarter, 14-10. Oklahoma leads Mississippi Delta on the road, 6-3. Jones and Southwest tied at 7 down in Ellisville in the second quarter, and also in the second quarter, it's Colin on top of Mississippi Gulf Coast, 7-3. So it will be a first down and goal situation with 1:47 to go. Plenty of time for Messiah DeWeaver in this offense. We're really killing the up-tempo and momentum of that drive with those penalties a moment ago, and they take advantage now of an East Central penalty. First down, goal to go. Spot of the football is near the 5-yard line. Officially on the 6. Twin receivers to the right, twins to the left, which is the wide side of the field. Here's the snap to DeWeaver. Back to pass, and he's looking near side. He's going to be hit and hit again. Tries to get out of that pressure and can't. He's going to be sacked back at the 10-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 3 on the play, as they're going to say officially the 9. He was able to get back to the 9. They had him bottled up at the 10, and making the sack is Miles Smith. They didn't get him down, Jonathan, but they had to blow the whistles because somebody was about to get hurt.
The offensive line's not doing a very good job at this point of the game picking up those blitzing linebackers.
Fade pattern near side on the snap, looking for Drummond, and it goes off his fingertips, but he was heavily covered there, and it's incomplete. And in on the coverage was Frederick McGee out of Greene County High School from McLean, Mississippi, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and goal from the 9. 1:16 to go before halftime, 14-9, EMCC on top. It's a top 20 battle here in Decatur. Same formation as last. McIntosh flanked over the left shoulder of DeWeaver. DeWeaver takes the snap, back to pass, backside pressure, hit, and he loses the ball, but it's intercepted by East Central. They're out across the 40, 45, angling towards the far sideline, and missed tackle by EMCC inside the 30, 25, 20. Still on his feet, 10, 5, touchdown, East Central. Boy, what a terrible, unfortunate sequence of events there.
Deion McIntosh got juked out of his cleats 2 or 3 times in pursuit of that young man running the touchdown.
Warriors a lead.
Guys, East Central's been bringing pressure from all kinds of directions, mainly from the corners and the safeties, and there was another zone blitz coming from that outside corner, and DeWeaver never saw him. Hit DeWeaver square in the back, ball went up, and a young man from East Central just caught it in the air when it went up and took it the distance.
Well, I was going to say, I think it was officially a fumble, and it was caught in the air by East Central, and they take it down the field. Some 80-plus yards for the touchdown. The PAT is no good. That's the second missed PAT by Rocks tonight. Wide right, 15-14. The EMCC will trail, but East Central takes the lead with 59 seconds to go before halftime. And just, boy, what a terrible play to happen to you right before half. That's reminiscent of 2007 when Alabama threw that interception to Mississippi State. They took it over 100 yards back for the pick six, and Alabama never looked back. We certainly hope that that's not the case for EMCC tonight as the home crowd comes to their feet here on the near side. 59 ticks left before halftime. 15-14, East Central is just taking the lead as they bring a fumble back, 80-plus yards for the score.
Remember, prior to the game on the coin toss, EMCC lost the toss, and so they'll have the football to open the second half of play as East Central elected to have it to open the game. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Are they going to try to run out the first half, or will we try to get some type of scoring play or an opportunity to get a scoring play just before halftime?
Sam Cox, who's missed 2 PATs, the Starkville native, will tee it up at the 35-yard line. Cox will come up on the football here momentarily and kick this one deep to EMCC. Boykin stands back inside the 5-yard line. He'll stand at his own 3 over on the far hash. Coming up on it and kicking it now at the 35. It's high end over end. And Boykin, it goes right to him at the 4. He waits on it. Out across the 10, 15. Up the numbers on the far side across the 30. And Boykin is going to be pushed out of bounds somewhere in the neighborhood of the 37-yard line. About a 34-yard return.
There's flags flying on that far side of the field. Some extracurricular hitting going on. It looked like way after the play. Boykin was hit on that far sideline. Then there was some pushing and shoving. Then the penalty flag flies. Also, we're seeing some lightning in the distance.
Yeah, let's not bring that up. Yeah, I've noticed it a minute ago, and I thought, surely I'm not seeing lightning because it's supposed to be. Right? Really, well, Jonathan's getting blamed for mentioning it, but guys, it's apparent. It's right across the.
Yeah, y'all aren't the sideline reporter. That personal foul went against East Mississippi, so that'll back them up an additional 15 yards. Didn't catch what number it was on, but it goes against East Mississippi. The offense is facing a pretty big mountain right now.
8 penalties, 76 yards. 23-yard line. They're on 23. Ball on the right hash, moving right to left to Weaver, who was strip sacked just a little bit ago, and the fumble returned 80-plus yards for the touchdown, and that's why East Central is up 15-14. McIntosh tries to get loose on the right side. He's bottled up and pushed out of bounds, or forced out of bounds, I should say, somewhere in the neighborhood of the 27-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 4 on the play, so that'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 situation with 45 seconds to go before halftime. Twin receivers here on the near side, Twins over on the right side. And the shotgun is to Weaver. We'll have McIntosh on his right hip. He leaves it with McIntosh. Goes straight up the middle across 30. Spins out of a tackle at the 37, out across the 40, and will get up to about the 42-yard line. Well, he hit the X button at just the right time, Jonathan.
Yes, he did. Also, the clock is going to stop while the chain's set. Still 34 seconds remain. They started the clock.
They've been doing that all night. They haven't given the chains time to set, but the officials are blowing the whistle, though. To Weaver, comes left, now goes right, going to keep it himself, and he's going to go out of bounds somewhere around the 46-yard line. So EMCC will have it their own 46, moving right to left with 21 seconds to go. There is still time to get down the field and get some points on the board, either via touchdown or through the kicking game.
DeWeaver needs to be a little more deliberate in these decisions, a little quicker in getting the ball out of his hand or deciding to run and get out of bounds. Need to save as much time as you can with about 21 seconds to go.
Trips near side, wide side of the field. Ball right hash. Across the way from us at the 46-yard line. DeWeaver races his left leg. Back to pass. Has pressure. Steps up. Is going to be hit. Gets rid of the football and throws it over on the EMCC sideline. Penalty flags fly. That's going to be roughing the passer, Glenn. He got hit hard and walloped around the 41-yard line, and I believe that's what that penalty is going to be. They threw it as soon as he got hit.
Well, I think it may be face mask because you kind of pick your poison right there. They had face mask. They called face mask right there against the defense.
Well, in my defense, any hit of the quarterback these days, that's going to be a 15-yarder. So.
You need about another 10 yards to have a really good shot at a field goal here with 14 seconds to go before halftime.
Spot of the football is going to be the 39 of East Central, 15-14. East Central on top of EMCC with 14 ticks left in the second quarter. DeWeaver surveys that four-man front. Twin receivers either side. Wide side of the field is near side. He rolls to the short side, fires at short side, caught 30-yard line, and stepping out of bounds is EMCC. I think he goes out around the 29. And I think that's going to be DJ Clayton who's going to make that reception for the Lions. It is DJ Clayton, and there's 10 ticks on the clock now. And it's a first down 10 situation at the East Central 29.
Beautiful job of DeWeaver taking what the defense is giving.
Okay, guys, what do you do right here? Take a shot?
So you go sideline route on the out route either side. You get a kick up. Back to pass to Weaver. He's going to be hit, and he does exactly what you can have him do, and that's get sacked. And there's 3 seconds, 2 seconds. That's right. EMCC has spent their timeouts, and on the sack back at the 35-yard line, that will run out the clock in the second quarter. And East Central will take a 1-point lead at the half, 15-14. And I'm searching for Glenn. I see Buddy Stevens. He's talking to DeWeaver, and we'll see if Buddy will stop the Glenn or walk past him.
Thanks, Jason. Got Buddy Stevens here at halftime. Coach, first half, you're in a dogfight. What do you tell your team?
Yeah, they're a good football team. I mean, we're not playing very well, and we're worried about what the referees are doing, not what we're doing. We got to do a better job. I mean, our defense is playing hard. Theirs is. We just got to do a better job.
Thanks, Coach. There you go, Jason. He's in a dogfight, and there's no doubt about it. They have to do a better job, as he said, of execution and quit panicking defensively. East Central's got a phenomenal game plan. They're bringing pressure from all angles of the field, and then offensively they're playing keep away, and it's worked for them.
Thank you, Glenn, and I agree with you 100%, and I was going to make that point before he did. You know, not only they are a talented football team, they're a very well-coached football team, and that's why right now they're in a dogfight here at East Central. 15-14, East Central will have the lead here at the half. Back in 2 minutes with SEC Update. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network.
They trail 15-14 as we're getting ready for the third quarter of play. But as we take a look at the first-time statistics, or the first half statistics, both teams not playing the game that they'd like. Actually, EMCC is not. East Central is playing the exact type of ball game that they would like to play. First downs, 11 for EMCC, 7 for East Central. Rushing the ball, 19 carries for 47 yards for EMCC. 22 carries, 72 yards for East Central. Passing the ball, the Lions were 9 of 17 for 99 yards. East Central was 3 of 9 for 39 yards. Total offense in the first half, EMCC 146 yards on 36 plays, 31 plays for 111 yards for East Central. Just to give you an example of how slow the first half was offensively for the Lions, the fact is that they're only going to get, if they equal the production, about 70 or so snaps, and they're normally getting in the upper 90s. So this is a team that will not have as many offensive snaps in this game. That makes every single offensive possession very important. One fumble on the play returned 84 yards for East Central, and that gave them the go-ahead score. Interceptions, neither team has thrown an interception. A punt for 25 yards for EMCC, 2 for 14 yards for East Central. One fumble, one lost for EMCC. Penalty yards, that's been a huge area of concern for Coach Buddy Stevens and the Lions. 8 penalties, 76 yards in losses in the first half. 4 for 40 yards in losses for East Central. Time of possession, another area of concern for East Central. East Mississippi's defense has been on the field the primary most of the first half. 18 minutes, 34 seconds time of possession for the Warriors. 11 minutes, 26 seconds for the Lions. Third down conversions, neither team knocking the ball out of the park there. 2 of 7 for EMCC, 3 of 8 for East Central. Fourth down conversions, both teams have tried once and failed. And the Lions 1 of 2 in red zone scores, 2 of 2 for East Central. McIntosh, 9 carries, 63 yards, leads the way in rushing the ball for East Central, or for East Mississippi. For East Central, Smith had 51 carries, or 51 yards on 17 carries. Throwing the ball, Vijay Miller, remember, got hurt in the first half. He was 1 of 6 at the point of going out of the game early in the second quarter. Messiah DeWeaver came in, completed 8 of 11 for 81 yards, long of 17. Messiah was sacked 5 times. Receiving the ball, Julian Connor had 2 catches. Reddix had 2, Drummond 1, and McIntosh 1 catch. And if you take a look at tackles, Ontario Johnson leads the way for the Lions. We'll be back in just a moment with the second half. We'll be back after a 30-second break. You're listening to the EMCC Football Network.
Checking in at number 20 in this week's polls. Let's go down to the field to Glenn Beard. Glenn, what do you think the message was to this team at the half? Glenn is still either in the line for a hamburger or a toilet. Not sure which one, but maybe having some battery issues. We'll check back in with him shortly. There he is. High kick's going to be taken to the 10-yard line, middle of the field. Going out across the 20, 25, staying on his feet across 30, 35-yard line. Big return for EMCC up to about the 44, 41-yard line. That's DJ Clayton on the return. Clayton took it from the 5 up to the 41-yard line. And EMCC will be in business from their own 41, moving from right to left.
Boy, this opening possession is going to be huge for EMCC, Jason. They need to get some yardage, control the football, give their defense an opportunity to rest.
Out of the 35-yard return for DJ Clayton. Twins either side, wide side of the field, near side. DeWeaver takes the snap, going to leave it with McIntosh. Tries to stiff arm one man, tries to break free from the other. Can't as he drags him by his hips down at the 45-yard line. That will be a gain of 4. Making the tackle that time is Peyton Rogers coming up from his linebacker spot to stop McIntosh after a 4-yard gain. That will bring up now a 2nd and 6 from their own 45.
Good open field tackle by Rogers.
Twin receivers either side. Ball placed on the near hash. DeWeaver lifts his right leg. Here comes pressure. They pick it up, fires it to Radix, and it's at his ankles, and Radix can't pick it up off the turf, and it's incomplete at the 49-yard line. It's going to bring up now a 3rd down and 6 situation from their own 45 for EMCC, moving right to left.
Weaver been sacked 5 times, Jason, in the first half, so he's going to try to get the ball out of his hand a little bit quicker here and a little bit more with those timing plays.
Twins either side on 3rd down, and now we have a penalty flag that's going to fly, and it's going to be a false start on EMCC. One thing that Buddy Stevens wanted to clean up was penalties, and already out of the gate here on your first possession in the second half, you get a false start penalty. Let's go to Glenn on the field. Glenn, that message certainly doesn't seem like it was received very well at the half.
Yeah, Jason, obviously wants to clean up those penalties right there. And he also told his quarterback, set your feet, deliver the football. He's had a hard time delivering the football where it needs to be.
Reddick's in motion from near side to far. Weaver back to pass, and he's just going to float it into the East Central sideline. It's incomplete, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and long situation, a 4th and 11, I beg your pardon. I was still looking at the 45. They snapped it from the 40 after the 5-yard penalty, and EMCC's going to have to punt it away. Let's go back to Glenn, and Glenn, I know Buddy Stevens just wants to calm his group down. At this point, you just want to come out, and if you come out and you execute, you're on top in this game.
Well, the word of the night, Jason, is going to be composure. You got to keep your composure. You're in a dogfight. We haven't been in a dogfight in a few years, so now you've got to keep your composure and take care of the little things.
Almost a false start there as EMCC's punter gets his foot into it, Johnny Moss, and it's going to bounce inside the 25 and roll out of bounds in the neighborhood of the 24-yard line. So East Central will have it at their own 24, moving from left to right. So EMCC got the ball first, and then they had to punt it away, Jonathan, after getting a first down and getting a little momentum there. It just stalled, and penalties didn't help. Now 9 penalties for 81 yards so far in this game.
Yeah, nice job by the punter getting the ball out of there. There was pressure coming at him from the far side, and he did see that pressure and was able to get the ball out. And EMCC with the defense needs to get a quick stop here and turn the ball back to the offense.
EMCC 11 first downs in the first half, did not get one on that last drive. Going with a 4-man front, 2 rush-ins, 1 on either side. Up under centers, the quarterback takes a snap, leaves it with Smith. Smith comes straight up the gut, and he's going to be hit and met as he gets to the 25-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about a half yard there. Making the tackle for East Central is going to be, EMCC is Kane Taylor.
Good job by the defensive front for East Mississippi. They were taking up the blockers, and that gave the linebackers an opportunity to step up and plug the gaps. There was nowhere to go for the running back. 2nd down and 9 for East Central.
13:44, clock rolling here in the third quarter. 17 on the play clock. East Central now slaps hands, and they come up to the line of scrimmage, which is their own 25. Single receiver near side, single receiver wide side of the field, which is to the left. Osagunlu is up under the center will take the snap. Oh, big hit in the backfield, back at the 22-yard line. Oh, my goodness. A huge tackle for loss by Everett Cunningham there as he just clocked Smith at the 22-yard line, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and long situation, make it 3rd and 12.
He did that a lot at West Point, Jason, and he really had great penetration, and we talked about it in the first half. EMCC needs to get back and blow up some of those plays before they have an opportunity to get going, and that's what Cunningham did, bringing up a big 3rd down. 12:56 counting clock here in the third quarter. East Central clinging to a 1-point lead, the 20th ranked team in the country, holding on to that slim lead over the number 1 ranked team in the country on 3rd and 12. Osagunlu
will snap it. We'll hand it off to Smith. Go straight up the 25 and across the 30th to 31-yard line as he goes up the gut. And it's going to bring up now a 4th down and 3 situation from the 31. He's got to get to the 34 for a first down. And they're about to send the punt team out. Ontario Johnson will make the tackle. Asagunla stands at 6'6", can't get his team to drive it down the field, can't convert a first down, and so he'll come to the near sideline. Both defenses now flexing their muscles coming out of the locker room. 12:05 to go, counting clock in the third quarter. Snap back, here's the punt. It's a high spiral punt, and DJ Clayton says get away from it. It's going to bounce inside the 30, bounce inside the 20, 15, and we'll roll inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. What an outstanding punt by Steven Anderson, and that will help his average of 35.7 go up.
Yeah, it was a nice punt. Boy, Clayton's got to really come up there and make a play on that ball. That was a huge bounce after that 60-yard punt.
Yeah. Bounces will help. Glenn Beer knows all about that, former punter at UTEP. It helped your average, didn't it, buddy?
Absolutely, and I actually had one of those 70-plus yarders against East Central when I was at Holmes.
Here's a snap to DeWeaver. He's going to hand it off to his tailback, and that is going to be McIntosh, and he gets up across the 15 up to the 16-yard line. So that's going to be a nice gain of about 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up now a 2nd down and 3. McIntosh was up and coming at Notre Dame last year, came in after an injury situation in South Bend. Rushed for close to 400 yards in a short stint, but shined when he did play for the Irish. Snapped to DeWeaver in the shotgun from the 16-yard line. McIntosh bounces off his blocker, and now will be able to bounce up to about the 17-yard line, so it's a gain of 1 on the play, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and a 1.5 yards.
What it must feel like to run out onto the field with that golden helmet on in front of all those screaming Notre Dame fans.
McIntosh gets inside handoff, first down and more, across the 20, 25, and he's popped at the 30-yard line. He was trying to spin out of a tackle. Boy, McIntosh, they try to tackle him low because he's so hard to tackle up high. And when they have a hold of his ankle, he tries to pull out of him and spin out of him, and they're holding on to him, and he's hopping around out there, and he got popped at the 30-yard line.
Nice job on that run by McIntosh. He just doesn't go down, as you mentioned.
13 carries for 85 yards now, has 1 rushing touchdown, his 9th of the season. Trips right, play action, they fire it right, and it's up the near seam, or far seam rather, caught by Boykin out at the 37-yard line. He's going to be tackled on the play by Daniel Little, 5'10" defensive back out of Terry, Mississippi. Played his high school ball at Terry High School.
Boykin shows no fear going out there across the middle to catch that ball. He was hit hard, but held on to it, 2nd and short.
After the 7-yard gain, they leave it with McIntosh, first down and more. Goes around the right side, cuts back up middle of the field, and gets to the 49-yard line. And that's going to move the chains, and the Lions will have it first down, 10 to go. And Keon Moore actually is coming off the sidelines. Moore now will be flanked off the left shoulder of DeWeaver. Twin receivers either side. Easy to be lulled asleep by McIntosh out there, and both of them have similar body types and running styles. And Moore takes it up the middle. He's got a burst of speed. He'll get inside the 40-yard line. He carries it for 10-plus yards. He gets down to the 38-yard line. He's tackled on the play by Elijah Keys, a linebacker from Mines, Mississippi. You see what Moore brings now, fresh legs off the bench, and he's had two big gains, 13 yards there on the play. Once again to Moore, and he goes straight up the middle, and he's just bouncing off folks, and he gets down to the 30-yard line. That's going to be a roughly 8-yard gain that time, and it's going to bring up now a 2nd and short, and Jonathan EMCC is in rhythm now offensively.
Yeah, McIntosh and Moore are really handling a lot of the load here on this initial drive in the third quarter.
2nd and 2 with twin receivers to the near side. Twins to the right, wide side of the field is near side. Weaver with the snap of the shotgun, leaves it on the ground, and going straight up the middle and getting inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line is the ball carrier, and that's going to be McIntosh. McIntosh comes in off the bench. Boy, they slip Moore and McIntosh in there very stealth-like. Both twin receivers to the near side, twins to the right. McIntosh off the left hip of DeWeaver, who stands in the shotgun. Ball placed on the 29. First down, 10 to go. It's the East Central 29, and McIntosh dances up the middle. He gets some tough yards as he gets inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line.
You know, we talked about McIntosh's instincts early in the game as his helmet comes off. and he's going to go to the sidelines. A little bit of a limp there as he makes it over to the sidelines. His ability to not go down, to spin and to juke players, to keep the play alive has really been a positive here in the second half for EMCC.
Gain of 7, twin receivers either side. 2nd and 3 now, ball on the 16 of East Central, and it's a handoff and dropped in the backfield for a loss. It's going to be Moore. Moore's going to be dropped back at the 18-yard line, and he's dropped by Ronnie Thomas. He's had a couple of tackles for a loss tonight. 15-14. East Central with a lead with 8:17 to go in the third. However, EMCC knocking on the door. They're at the 18 with a 3rd and 5 situation. Down to the 18 of East Central. Showing pressure are the Warriors. DeWeaver steps up in the pocket, fires it across the middle as a man, and it's almost caught. It's incomplete, and it will be a 4th down and 5. He was looking for Boykin, and Boykin can't come up with it right middle of the end zone, and that would have been a tough catch. Great spiral on the throw as DeWeaver looked so calm in the pocket, stepped up, had pressure around him, and got rid of it. The EMCC's going to go for it on 4th down and 5.
Boykin took a pretty good shot, Jason, and he looks like he may be hurt over on the far sideline.
Twin receivers either side, ball placed to the right hash. Snap from the 18 on 4th and 5, and they fire it over the middle. It is caught at the 11-yard line, and EMCC has a 1st down. And that is a big-time reception by Reddix. Caleb Reddix with a reception at the 11-yard line.
DeWeaver threw it. Well, only Reddix could catch the ball. Nice job. Nice pitch and catch for a 1st down.
Caught on the far seam. Moore goes straight up the middle as he gets the inside handoff, and he's going to be spun around at the 5, stays on his feet. Does he get to the goal line? Yes! Touchdown, EMCC!
What a terrific job by the wide receivers on that far side of the field, Jason, sealing off an opportunity and a lane for him to run through. There's a late flag that goes down around the 10-yard line, and we'll see what type of penalty is going to be thrown here.
It's going to be an unsportsmanlike, and it's going to be on EMCC, and the white hat has to turn his mic on. We haven't heard him all night, though. It's kind of a muffled, garbled sound. 15-14. They haven't put the points on the board, but it should be, it should be 20-15 now, pending the PAT, and it looks like EMCC. Well, Buddy Stevens wants an explanation of what happened. Now they put the points on the board, so it's 20-15. EMCC up by 5. The PAT would put them up by 6. They're not going to go for 2. They are going to attempt the point off after. Josh Moss, who was 29 of 30 PATs coming in, has hit 2 tonight, so he's hit 31 of 32. We'll await the snap back by Burton. Here it is. Goler's going to hold it, and it's through the uprights, and it is good. And EMCC will lead it by 6, 21-15. So the Lions regain the lead with 7:35 to go here in the third quarter. Back in 30 seconds as we kick it off to the Warriors. In just a moment, you're listening to the EMCC Radio Network.
Offensive lineman getting up a little bit slow for the Warriors.
So Smith with a 6-yard gain there, and it's going to bring up now a first down situation as he crosses the first down sticks. 6:49 and counting here in the third quarter. Boy, East Central's trying to regain that lead, and they've had a short field to do so. Starting on the plus side of the field, they're down to the 17 of EMCC. Ball's going to be placed on the near hash. They break huddle. Going out wide to the across the field is Zachary. Jalen Zachary. He'll be the single receiver out there. Smith will take the handoff. He gets inside the 15-yard line before he has stood up. Forward progress will get him down to the 14. That will be a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up now a second down and 7 situation, and a whole host of Lions make the tackle there. 6-point lead for the Lions, 21-15. 6:10 to go third quarter. The clock is counting, and East Central has the ball down to the 14 of EMCC. So they are knocking on the door to score.
A lot of credit has to go to the offensive line because they are getting up under those defenders' shoulder pads and able to control that defensive front. That's why they're picking up so much yardage when they run the ball. Jason, you see them in 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3, those situations, and it's all because the offensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage.
Alsagunla will take the snap, hand it off to his tailback Smith, goes straight up the middle. He is going to be met at the 13 after a yard gain, and he is stopped there, and he can go no further. And it's going to bring up now a 3rd down and 6 situation after the gain of 1 by Smith.
EMCC trying to strip the ball. You know you're down in an opportunity or a situation where they're going to go for a field goal if they need to get points here. They trail 21-15. EMCC leads, and the defense is trying to get themselves fired up deep in their own territory. Glenn,
speaking of which, that defense is fired up the far sideline. It's gotten very energetic over there.
It really has, Jason, and as it should be. East Mississippi hasn't been in a ball game like this in several years. It's time to step up.
Up under center is the quarterback. He'll take the snap on 3rd down and 6. Play action. Looks for the end zone. Lofts it for his receiver, and it's incomplete. And he was looking for Jamarvis Eccles, the tight end, 6'3", 206 from Sardis, Mississippi, played at North Panola High School. The crowd's going to boo. They wanted a penalty flag there on EMCC. Not going to get it.
Josh Miller, the transfer from Jackson State, pretty good job defensively. He was in his hip pocket all the way down the field.
Really surprised the kicking unit coming out for East Mississippi, for East Central, guys, as extra points has been a bit of an issue for East Central tonight. And this one's going to be a 30-yarder?
About a 30-yarder. It will be a 30-yard field goal. We'll await the snap back. Here it is. Here's the hold. The kick is blocked by EMCC. It's blocked, and it's being fumbled around by the Lions. Now picked up by EMCC, and they're tackled at the 37-yard line. And the one who recovered that block kick is still lying around on the ground.
It was an awkward tackle there by the kicker, who grabbed him and tried to flip him over as he was falling down, and looks like he just bent him in a way that the body is not used to bending.
Shavaki Harrington will pick up that block. Everett Cunningham is going to come up with that block kick. He's going to be credited with 4:37 to go in the third quarter. EMCC comes up huge there defensively, and Glenn, after that big defensive stand, now the offense gets it back, and here's a chance to now really put some pace to this game.
Yeah, this is a momentum turner right here. Now the offense, last offensive drive, really evoked their will on the defensive line of East Central. Running the football inside those outside stunts.
First down, 10 to go from their own 37-yard line, and here's McIntosh coming around the near side, and he is going to be forced out of bounds inside East Central territory down to the 46-yard line.
Deion McIntosh went up the middle. Jason ran into his own blocker. Then Stutter stepped and turned to the left and came outside, picked up big yardage. EMCC doing what they've done successfully as McIntosh limps off the field.
17-yard gain by McIntosh. More now will be flanked to the left of McIntosh, or excuse me, to Weaver, I beg your pardon. And it's going to be a short pass caught between the numbers on the sideline near side by Reddix, and he's going to get inside the 45 down to the 44-yard line, so it will be a gain of 2 on the short pass. And that's going to bring up now 2nd down and 8. Clock rolling now with 3:54 to go in the third quarter. 21-15, EMCC on top, trying to extend the lead. Snap from their 44 of East Central, and it's caught by Drummond near side. He'll catch it at the sideline and step out of bounds as soon as he catches it at the 40-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up now a 3rd down and 4 situation. 3rd and 4 for EMCC at the 40-yard line of East Central. Reddick's in motion from near side to far. They pitch it to him on the sweep. He goes around the right side. He's going to get inside the 35, down to the 34, and the crowd screaming holding. Penalty flags fly, and that's what it's going to be, Glenn Beard. EMCC is going to have to back it up a bit.
Yeah, Jason, right tackle is going to be guilty of the hold right there. Just got a little too much jersey. Well, we play 3rd down.
EMCC has been penalty prone tonight as the Lions have 10 penalties for 96 yards. Ball will be placed right at midfield. So staying in East Central territory, but bringing up a 3rd and 14. Connor will be flanked out with Drummond here on the near side. Drummond will be your wide out. Your slot receiver will be Connor. Twin receivers to the right. Keon Moore off the left hip of DeWeaver, who's in the shotgun, moving from right to left. Oh, and how did they miss Moore? Moore leaned forward, took a step or two. DeWeaver gets hit as he throws the ball. It's off the fingertips of Connor, and it's incomplete at the 45 as it was about to be a tip drill interception by the Warriors. Vijay Swanner came over and almost grabbed it off his ankles, and it hits the turf, though incomplete. It's going to bring up a 4th and 14 situation, and the Lions now have missed the opportunity to get old Uncle Mo on their side, and they're going to kick it from right to left.
Yeah, really did miss an opportunity with that drive. Now it's 4th and 14. Ball's on the 50, Jason, but now we have a pretty good breeze down here on the field as the front starting to move through.
Yeah, I noticed it was much cooler when I went outside at halftime. I actually put on a jacket. Oh, almost blocked, but it's going to be a spiral. It's going to bounce between the numbers and the hash at the 20, and it's going to roll around and take an East Central bounce back to the 21, but EMCC is, well, no, EMCC is going to try, the official's going to stop it. Well, EMCC thought for a moment that ball was live and they were going to be able to take it into the end zone. Thought it maybe it touched a Warrior, but it didn't. The officials
took a funny bounce as the ball hit, bounced up, and it came back and then back toward EMCC. So it did look like, because of the change of direction on the punt, that it could have been touched. But the defense now has got a full field to play with, and we'll see if we can turn the ball over here and get something happening for the EMCC offense.
Johnny Moss with a 29-yard punt, and East Central's going to have it at their own 21-yard line. And we have an unsportsmanlike penalty. It's going to be on EMCC, so that's going to be the 12th penalty now. They're already over 100 yards. Just a moment ago had 11 penalties for 106. And so this one now is going to be 12 penalties for 149 yards. That's not correct. As soon as it popped up on the computer screen, I wasn't doing simple math in my head. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go there.
It's another one of those 15-yard penalties that really hurt your team and puts your defense at a disadvantage here with good field position now, ball up on the 36.
And now the officials are calling timeout. And EMCC is going to call it. That'll be their first timeout call of the second half. 2:53 to go here in the third quarter. We got ourselves a ball game down in Decatur. 21-15. EMCC clinging to the 6-point lead. Situation for East Central. They have the ball at their own 35-yard line, closer to the 36. It's between the 35 and 36-yard line. First down, 10 to go. After the 15-yard penalty, that's why East Central has it at their own 36-yard line officially. They're calling it the 36. 12 penalties for 121 yards. Buddy Stevens cannot be happy with that mark. If they don't get another penalty the rest of the game, that's still a bad stat in the stat book. EMCC with a 5-man front, 2 linebackers. Here's the snap by the quarterback, hands it to Smith, tries to come around near side and gets up to about the 39-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 3, and that will bring up now a 2nd and 7 situation. 2:38 and counting here in the third quarter. East Central has 30 seconds to snap it. They're going to take their time. Asagunlu will be in the huddle. Boy, big kid, as we mentioned. Mario Asagunla is the proper pronunciation. 6'6", 211 out of Jackson, Mississippi, played at Hillcrest Christian. Standing the shotgun, Twins near side, short side of the field. Play action, has backside pressure, now just lofts it up. This could be anybody's football, and it's going to be intercepted by EMCC on the tip trail at the 29-yard line. And coming up with it is Jacob Anderson. That's his second, well, would have been his second interception of the night. One was negated by a penalty just a bit ago, but there are no penalty flags, and the Lions will have another takeaway, and they're moving from right to left now at their own 29. Just a beautifully executed play, Glenn Beard.
Asagunla was in full sprint, Jason, when he was trying to throw that ball away because EMCC was pressuring him in the backfield. He just threw it sidearm down there, hoping to throw a jump ball to give his guy an opportunity. Well, they tipped it up, and what a great job for EMCC on the interception.
Should have thrown it away in hindsight. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. EMCC with a snap near hash. They're on 29. Leave it with McIntosh. Backs up to try to avoid a tackler, and he is going to be bottled up, and he is going to be dropped back at the 26-yard line. Well, they'll say the 27, so loss of 2 on the play, and that'll bring up now a 2nd down and 12 situation as the clock rolls under 2 minutes to go here in this third quarter of play. EMCC up 6, 21-15.
Tanner Bullock in there on that stop on the far side of the field. He was a linebacker on the near side, and he pursued the play all the way over and got McIntosh in the backfield.
Twins near side, wide side, slip screen over on the far side, and it is caught out across the 30 and bottled up around the 34-yard line. And that's where the ball carrier, which is, that's not Adrian Miller, was that Boykin on the reception? I believe it was Boykin, and Boykin's going to take it up to the 34-yard line. No, it was Miller? It was Miller. Okay. Thought it was Miller at first, and I saw him helping up Boykin, and I thought Boykin was the one that was the last one to get off the turf. Snap to Weaver, he fires it over on the far side. It is caught at the sticks around the 39-yard line, and we have a hit out of bounds and no penalty flag. And the crowd reacts across the way, but it still moves the chain, so it's 1st down and 10 to go for EMCC.
DeWeaver doing a good job completing those short and mid-range passes. Nothing deep so far for the Lions.
That was Miller again on the reception. Penalty flags fly as EMCC snaps it from their own 39. It's going to be a false start. Lions are going to pick up another penalty. Those pre-snap penalties are just really, and not just the pre-snaps as much too as those personal fouls are just really hard for your coaching staff to have to stomach. 13 penalties for 126 yards now. And Buddy Stevens would tell you, so I'm not telling you anything he wouldn't. That's inexcusable. Twin receivers near side, Twins to the far. Spotted the football now, the 36. Firing it over on the far side of the field is caught and going out of bounds. That's Adrian Miller again, or is that Connor? That's Connor on the reception. And EMCC really picking over on that left side of the defense.
The Lions working hard to overcome adversity that they've had in the first half. They haven't been played this type of ball game this year, so it's a great opportunity for this team to stand up and to really move the ball down the field.
Inside handoff to McIntosh, goes around the right side, and he is going to be hit and dropped around the 47-yard line, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down. That was a 2nd and 8, and that'll run out the clock here in the third quarter. So it's going to be a 3rd down for EMCC, and this is going to be a very, very important 3rd down situation for EMCC. As the Lions will talk about it as we end the third quarter. Back in 1 minute with the start of the 4th and final period here in Decatur at Bailey Stadium. You're listening to a top 20 battle on the EMCC Radio Network. McIntosh is drugged down as he gets inside East Central territory. He gets the first down as he gets down to the 49-yard line. That's that important third down. They move the chains as we start the fourth quarter of play. We're 8 seconds in, clock counting now. Ball spotted middle of the field. DeWeaver in the shotgun. Twins either side of the formation. We'll leave it with McIntosh. Goes behind the left guard. He's going to pull his way inside the 45, and he's going to get down to the 43-yard line. Nice gain of 5 that time by McIntosh, and it'll bring up a second and medium situation. Want to thank the EMCC Radio Network, WFCA 107.9 FM in French Camp, your flagship station. Super Talk WZKR 103.3 FM in Meridian, and EMCC's WFTC 92.7 FM in Mayhew. Ball middle of the field, the snap. DeWeaver fires it near side, caught by Miller, and he's going to be down when he catches it as his knee was on the ground at the 39-yard line. Caught by number 19, Adrian Miller.
Yeah, Miller did a nice job just zeroing in on that football. His knee did touch the ground a yard shy of the first down.
Keon Moore is now checked into the contest to spell McIntosh. Same formation as last, ball on the near hash, moving left to right. DeWeaver lifts his right leg, leaves it with Moore. Moore doesn't have anything up the middle. He's going to be drugged down from behind at the 40-yard line. And that's going to be a loss of 2 on the play. And EMCC will have now a 4th down and short situation. A 4th and 2. It was 3rd and 1 just a second ago. Tullis Cole will make the tackle coming up from his linebacker spot, running it down Moore from behind. Moore was tentative a little bit, Jonathan, as he wanted to go up the middle, didn't have anything, and was slow getting around the...
The Lions have brought out a couple of those big offensive linemen, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout for East Central as EMCC was going for it.
So it's 4th down and 2 from the 40-yard line. Ball will be placed near hash, moving left to right. We'll be back in 30. You're listening to the Lions Football Network. Which one's Jake?
Situation there. East Central had not seen that look tonight, so they called timeout. So we've got a little bit of a chess match going on as one team is trying to decide, okay, what should we do here, and the other team is saying, how do we defend it? So it looks like EMCC is bringing those same big guys back out onto the field.
Adrian Miller will be the wide out near side. DeWeaver will be in the shotgun. He'll have a back flank to his left hip. Here's the handoff going straight up the middle, getting down to the 49-yard line.
Second effort, it looks like he could have gotten it. It's going to be close.
It's McIntosh. No, he is not going to get it. They're going to stop him at the 39-yard line. And so East Central will have the football moving right to left, trailing by 6, 21-15 with 13-10 to go in this game.
Well, a good job there by the East Central defensive front as they really stood their ground. The linebackers jumped in there, filled those gaps, and they were able to stop EMCC. Huge momentum turn here for the Warriors as this is their kind of game. We've played it right into their hands. It's 21-15 EMCC with about 13 minutes to go. Jason, we're going to be in for a barn burner.
Spot of the football is on the near hash, moving from right to left. Seguinla will be up under center. Send a man in motion from near side to far in the I formation. Will turn, hand it off to James Smith. Smith trying to find some running room. He's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage and pulled back. And they're going to say forward progress will get him to the 40-yard line, so he'll gain a yard, and then it'll be 2nd down and 9 now coming up for East Central.
Yeah, good job by the Lions. I believe that was Akins back there as they really strung the play out and were able to grab him and drop him.
Here's where the defense cannot go to sleep, guys, and play into the hands of East Central's offense. They want to kind of rock you to sleep and then go play action, so you got to be real careful, especially this late in the ball game.
2nd and 9 after the gain of 1 by Smith. Bottled up, was actually pulled back behind the line of scrimmage, but forward progress got him up to the 40. Moving from right to left is East Central. Ball will be placed on the right hash, which is the far hash. Single receiver either side. Quarterback will take the snap. We'll hand it off to Smith. Comes around near side. He's going to be dropped, and he's going to be dropped for about a half-yard loss. And that's going to bring up now a 3rd down and 9 situation. Cy Martin Jr., the LSU transfer, coming up with a big tackle there at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
The back side of the defense, Jason, did a great job in containment there, coming up behind the running back. So when he stopped to try to turn and cut back, the back side of that containment on the defense was there, and they dropped him for no gain. 3rd down. This play is huge.
Qualls will spell Smith, who has a breather on the near side. Qualls off the right hip of his quarterback, Asagunla. Asagunla will walk up to the line of scrimmage, shout out some instructions. Twins to the right. Here's the snap. We'll fake the handoff, throw it over the middle, and he has a receiver who had it for a moment and drops it at the 45-yard line, and that's Jalen Zachary. He almost hauled it in, Jonathan. He caught it in stride and almost had it for a step and then just dropped it.
Yeah, the ball was just a little bit low, which caused the receiver to stumble in his route. Had he caught that cleanly, it was a touchdown.
Absolutely, because he was running towards the far sideline, and he had a step or two on the defender. DJ Clayton will stand inside his own 25 over on the far hash. Coming out to punt the football away will be Steven Anderson. Had a 60-yard punt earlier. Gets his right foot into it, and it's a spiral, and it's going to be caught inside the 25, and Clayton's going to take it around the left side, gets around the 32-yard line before he is hit, and I think he steps out of bounds before he is hit there at the 32. So a 7-yard return. A lot of pads popping there on that play, on that punt.
Ontario Johnson had a huge block on the far side of the field. You could probably hear the fans on the near side oohing and ahhing because that was a huge hit on a block that sprung the return man to the far side. And EMCC now with another offensive opportunity. And the thing that I haven't seen in this game that we have earlier in the year is they haven't thrown the ball deep.
DeWeaver in the shotgun, trips wide side of the field, near side. We'll snap it from their own 31, which is the official spot. We'll hand it off, going around the left side, McIntosh, and he's going to be bottled up and slung backwards. Forward progress will get him up to the 34, so gain of 3, and that'll bring up now a 2nd and 7 situation. Making the tackle is William Morgan from his defensive back position. McIntosh off the left hip of DeWeaver. Once again, trips near side, single receiver to the left. 2nd and 7, the snap from the 34, their own 34. Steps up in the pocket because there's pressure. Now going to keep it himself. Comes around the 35, and he's going to be hit out of bounds. That should draw a flag, but they're not going to throw it.
He was well into the white when he was hit by the second defender that came in. The first defender had him before he touched the white, but he was 3 or 4 yards out of bounds before the second defender hit him. Clearly should have been a big 15-yard penalty there that was not thrown.
Jason Brownlee will be the wide out near side. Rashad Eads is going to be your slot receiver near side. McIntosh now will be flanked to the right of DeWeaver with twins to the left. 4-man front for East Central with 10:22 to go in the game. Here's the snap. McIntosh goes straight up the middle, and he gets up to the 42, 43-yard line, and he's going to have enough for the first down. So EMCC will move the chains. Spotted the football their own 43. Moving left to right. Clock stopped momentarily with 10:15 to go here in the fourth quarter.
McIntosh did a nice job waiting for the block that time and got the first down.
Same formation as last, except to the left side is going to be Moore. Moore comes around near side, and he is going to dance his way inside East Central territory. That's McIntosh correction down to the 46-yard line.
How quick is McIntosh planting that foot and really accelerating and doing a nice job picking up another first down, back-to-back first downs for the Lions.
And he's going to get a spell. So Moore does come out on the field now. He'll be flanked to the left of DeWeaver. Twins either side. Ball spotted near side, 46-yard line of East Central. First down and 10. Sweep. Eads gets it on the toss, and he's going to be hit hard and dropped as he runs laterally and tries to cut downfield. He's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage, maybe a half-yard gain. I think they say he gets close to the 45. Making the tackle for East Central is going to be Ronnie Thomas. He's had a couple of big hits and tackles in this game for the Warriors. They'll officially give him a gain of 1, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 9 from the 45 of East Central, moving left to right. Ball left hash, far side of the field. Here's the snap. Here comes pressure, and they leave it on the ground. Going straight up the middle is Moore, and he's going to dance down to the 41-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4 on the play. So it's going to bring up now a 3rd down and 5 situation, 3rd and medium.
Good play call there. on second down and long. They hand that ball off because East Central, Jason, they were bringing everybody. They had a cornerback, they had a safety, and they had a linebacker blitzing from the near side. So a good play call for EMCC.
Ball placed left hash, twins either side to Weaver, looking left side, fires it left side, and it is almost caught with one hand, but it is not incomplete. Reddix, the intended receiver at the 25-yard line, so that'll bring up now a 4th down and 5 situation. Spotted the football, the 41 of East Central. This game just continues to get more and more interesting.
It does. Reddix, Jason, short-armed that ball. He stuck his hand out there trying to catch it with one arm rather than both hands out there. There was a safety there, so he was thinking he was about to get hit by the safety. But he's got to make that catch. You have to become a big-time player in that situation.
Lions going to play field position here and going to punt the football away from their own 41. It's such a tight game. Normally this is where Buddy go for it, but this is one of those situations you're clinging to a 6-point lead. You got to trust your defense. Snap back to Moss. He gets it away, and it's a high, spirally kick that's going to bounce inside the 5 and take a hard bounce into the end zone. So they'll have it at their own 20. Does East Central moving right to left.
The punter dropped the nose of that football, trying to get that reverse spin on it, hoping it would hit the ground and either bounce straight up into the air or hit the ground and bounce backwards. But it hit right on the nose of the ball and just flipped on into the end zone. And the EMCC now, every single situation becomes even bigger than the one before, leading by just a few, 21-15 with 8:36 to go in the game.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the EMCC Football Network. .836 to go in the game. Quarterback takes a snap, turns, leaves it with Smith. He's going to be hit in the backfield, but he gets away from that tackle and gets up to about the 22-yard line. So that will be a gain of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8. Clock running with 8:22 to go. And the way East Central uses up time, if they go 80 yards here and score, there may not be much time left for EMCC on the offensive end. So the defense has got to come up with a stop here on this drive.
Yeah, we talked about it many times tonight. We've played right into their hands. We're playing their kind of ball game. We're not able to play the fast-paced, quick-score type of offensive football that you've known EMCC for. This has been a defensive slugfest, and so far EMCC has come out on the good side.
Segundo takes a snap. He's going to throw it near side. It is caught, and he escapes one man and can't escape the other, but he gets out across the 30 up to the 31-yard line, and that's Jalen Zachary. Fred Hervey will make the tackle, but he gained 6 yards after the first initial hit, and that's a 1st down for East Central.
Hervey's usually the guy that's doing the punishing, Jason, but that time it was the wide receiver, Zachary, that was doing the punishing. He was looking for somebody to run over, and he did, and picked up a 1st down to the 31.
Moving from right to left, East Central now breaks huddle. Segundo surveys that EMCC 5-man front. Goes up under center now. Smith is the tailback. Twin receivers to the right. Single receiver short side of the field near side. Takes the snap, turns, hands it once again with Smith. Smith is just weaving in and out of EMCC players, and he gets inside Lion territory down to the 49-yard line. And that's actually going to be Quails, I beg your pardon.
Quick hitter there as the quarterback just handed it off, and Quails showing a little bit more burst early on in his footwork, able to get beyond the line of scrimmage and into the secondary. EMCC finally putting him down. E.J. Woods with the tackle, but inside Lion territory.
Requavius Quails will get it down to the 49-yard line, gain of 20 on that last play, and they're eating up clock again. 6:37 to go here in this 4th quarter. They're very patient on offense. 8 seconds, 7 seconds to snap it. Going up under center. Segundo. He'll take the snap, turns, leaves it with Quails. He bounces to the outside over on the right side, gets inside the 40. He's got another 1st down to the 39-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 10 by Quails, and it is now 6:17 to go here in this 4th quarter. Clock has started counting again. 21-15 EMCC clinging to that 6-point lead. Quarterback up under center, ready to snap it quickly with 29 on the play clock. And it's a quick throw on the right side, and they get inside the 30 down to about the, down to the 30. So pass is caught, and it's going to be Caston on the reception, and he gets down to the 30 for the gain of 9. It's going to be a 2nd and 1 situation. Quarterback goes up under center quickly again, takes the snap, turns, hands it with Quails. He has nowhere to go, runs into his own offensive lineman, and a couple of white shirts take advantage of it, and they drop him back at the 31-yard line.
Intestinal fortitude, that's what it's all about right here late in the ball game. The defensive line trying to really make the offensive line work. They're giving those linebackers an opportunity to fill the gaps and make the stop. Jason, 3rd down and 2, and this is the biggest 3rd down of the year so far for EMCC on the defensive side.
No question. Mackie McNeil with that last tackle for loss, 6'5", 330, a freshman from Alabaster, Alabama. Couple of substitutions now on that offensive front for East Central.
2-down territory right here.
Yeah, and they've got
go for it.
7 to snap it, and they're going to have to burn a timeout. They were still in the huddle about 6 yards away from the line of scrimmage. And so with timeout, we have 5:03 to go in this ball game. EMCC up 21-15. It's a 3rd down and 2 from the 31 of EMCC. When we return in 30 seconds, you're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. And Holmes just mentioned a moment ago, there's EMCC on defense. They've got to come up with a stop here. They're trying to defend 31 yards of their turf. It's 3rd down and 2 from the 31 of EMCC for the Warriors of East Central. Single receiver near side, and that's Zachary. I formation, double tight end set. Quarterback goes up under center, takes the snap, hands it off to Quails. He goes straight up the middle, and he is going to get down inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line.
Looks like he may be just shy of the 1st down.
Yeah, he is. Our side judge came in just barely across the 30, maybe 4 inches across the 30. It's going to be 4th down.
Thank you, Glenn. Fred Hervey with the stop there. Boy, you get used to that name. You're going to hear it a lot the rest of the season on defense. Fred Hervey is just a tackling machine. He leads all tacklers coming into this game with 28, 21-15. It's 4th down and inches to go. East Central with 23 to snap it. They're going to go for it. They come up on the football, and both sides are up on their feet.
EMCC with 2 timeouts, Jason.
They stack that line of scrimmage, and that 6'6" quarterback goes straight up the gut looking like Cam Newton, and he is going to get the 1st down. That's Asagunla, and that's going to be enough for a fresh set of downs with 4:29 to go.
Looked like a power forward going up for a layup as he just laid the football out across the offensive line. And if you've got a 6'6" quarterback with any kind of push it off from the offensive line, that's a pretty easy play to get yardage on.
Clock rolling. Now we'll be inside 4 minutes to play after.
Well, guys, they did it like you're supposed to do it with a big quarterback like that. Go under center and get what you can. Don't snap it 7 yards.
And in motion from near side to far. Here's the snap, turn. And it's play action. Back to pass. Firing it deep down the field. As a man wide open. It is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, East Central, but they may have scored too quickly. Torrin Hamilton, the 6'5" freshman from Starkville Academy, got behind the defense, and he hauls in that play action pass, and East Central has now tied it up at 21 apiece, pending the PAT.
Beautiful job by the quarterback as he dropped back, rolled to the right side, stopped and planted, and saw his man running deep back behind the play, threw it back to the left, which you almost never see happen, and the receiver was wide open for an easy score.
So with 3:51 to go here in this football game, it's 21 all. Snap is back. Here's the hold. It's blocked. It is blocked by EMCC, and it's picked up at the 20-yard line, and blocking it is Miller. And EMCC comes up with a huge play on special teams.
What a great play, Jason, by the EMCC defensive line there as they came in, and they've done it so well tonight, blocking kicks. And 21-21 our score with 3:49 to go in the game, and EMCC has a chance to put an exclamation point on it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is the third miss. There was 2 missed PATs and now 1 that's blocked, and that could come back to really haunt East Central. Although, if they make those, they're up 24-21. So EMCC will have it with 3:49 to go in the fourth quarter, and they need to eat some clock here.
Well, it could be a strange situation. You might see them kick an onside kick here. It's way down the list of things you would normally see here with a 21-21 lead.
Sounds crazy, but they want to be. If they lost it, they want to be able to get the ball back.
All right, guys, that is crazy. Here's the thing, though. They've got to kick the football off into the wind. It is blowing about 15 to 20 miles an hour down here now, and it's steady. So I don't expect, you saw it just fall off the tee right there.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a deep kick. They'll try to kick it deep, but I figure it'll come down around the 10 or 15, so a very returnable kick coming up.
Thank you, Glenn. Appreciate that report. The Starkville, Mississippi native will come up and kick this football here momentarily. Sam Cox, he comes up to it at the 35, kicks it. It's going to be a high sky kick over on the left side, taken by EMCC on the run at the 30, 35, up across the 40, up to about the 42-yard line, taken by an up back there. And I think that is going to be Moore on the return. That is Moore. So Moore takes it out across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. That's going to be a return of 13 yards for Keon Moore. 3:44 to go here on this clock in the fourth quarter, and I don't know if it's the air conditioner blowing kind of in the back, but I just felt this really cool wind blow. And it felt like it came from outside, so that wind's been swirling. It's cooled down here, has not been a humid night. The EMCC with it at their own 44-yard line. The snap to DeWeaver, going to leave it on the ground, and cutting upfield and getting out across midfield inside East Central territory is going to be McIntosh down to the 48-yard line, and he is going to be tackled by Demon Lewis, a 6'1", 230-pounder out of Jackson, Mississippi, played at Terry High School. Ball's going to be placed on the near hash at the 48. EMCC is going to go quickly. Clock rolling with 3:20 to go in this game. The snap from the 49. They leave it with McIntosh. Goes around the left side. It's going to be pulled down from behind from the backside, and he is going to be dropped for a loss back at the 48.
Jacoby Jones, the tackle on the right side on the play prior to this one, Jason, did a great job blocking. They tend to be picking up more yardage when they run behind Jacoby Jones. So we'll see on this 3rd down and 2 what EMCC's thinking.
Huge down for EMCC here. They snap it from the 48, looking left. DeWeaver fires it, caught by EMCC inside the 45, and he is going to be pulled out of bounds around the 43. And I believe that's Drummond who made that reception across the way. It is Ontario Drummond, the go-to receiver for this EMCC offense. And the Lions have a 1st down and 10 to go. Spotted the football, the 43 of East Central. Ball left hash, twin receivers either side. Facing a 4-man front. DeWeaver lifts his right leg, gives it to McIntosh. He's going to be hit for no gain at the line of scrimmage between the numbers and the hash across the way. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 43 of East Central.
2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the game, Jason. EMCC's in pretty good shape. 2nd down and 10. They really need to get about another 10 or 15 yards here to have an opportunity for a kick to win it.
Boy, this has been some game. Clock counting now with 2:08 to go. Play action. DeWeaver fires it left sideline. Caught again by Drummond. And he's going to lean forward down to the 35-yard line. Short of the 1st down, but it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2 situation.
You got to be real careful right now if you're DeWeaver, because those linebackers and those safeties are jumping those routes. They're trying to get in there and get in between the receiver and the quarterback.
DeWeaver, who's curled on the other side of the pillow in the pocket, takes the snap, leaves it with his tailback, goes straight up the middle of McIntosh, and he's going to have enough for the 1st down as he gets down to the 31-yard line. Down to the 31 of East Central. It's all tied up at 21 apiece with 1:38 to go. Clock stopped momentarily here in the 4th quarter.
Real impressed with DeWeaver and his poise, Jason, late in the ball game. Really calm and cool in the pocket.
DeWeaver in the shotgun. Twins bunched up to the line of scrimmage to the short side of the field, which is to the left. He looks left, fires it over the middle, caught inside the 25, now inside the 20. 1st down EMCC. Caleb Reddix.
Reddix that time caught that pass across the middle. The earlier opportunity, he short-armed it. So a good job. They got the ball down inside the 20, and now the Warriors have taken a timeout.
I think East Central's a little gassed defensively, and they need to talk about it and take a breather. 1:14 to go in this game. We're all tied up at 21 apiece. As Glenn Beard on the sidelines referred to earlier, this is rarefied air here for EMCC. Has not been in a game like this, a close game in years. Let's go down to Glenn Beard on the sidelines. Actually, that's not true. Remember that state championship game last year when it went into overtime and EMCC converted on the two-point conversion to win it? But I see your point. It does feel like that, especially in the regular season. There haven't been too many close games like this.
Absolutely. And Jason, this game has come down to that offensive line of East Mississippi here in the second half. They have done an outstanding job of controlling the line of scrimmage, and also they've picked up the blitzes like they're supposed to. East Central is blitzed late every time, and now they're starting to kick that blitz out and run inside the tackles rather than outside the tackle.
Thank you, Glenn. Spot of the football is the 19-yard line, middle of the field. At the East Central 19, EMCC on the move, first down, 10 to go. 1:13 and counting. Pump fake left side, fires it left side of the end zone. It's up for grabs. No, it goes out of bounds over the left side of that end zone. 1:08 to go here in this game. Clock stopped, second down, 10 to go from the 19 of the Warriors.
I really thought the defensive back was going to bite on that fake, and had he done that, it would have been an easy completion. But he turned, stayed with the receiver, followed him into the end zone. Good coverage that time to force the quarterback to throw the ball just a little bit further out than he wanted.
Twins either side. DeWeaver calls for the football, takes it, leaves it on the inside. Handoff, McIntosh inside the 10, inside the 5, and it's going to be first down and goal to go EMCC with 1 minute to go in this game. Clock stops briefly to move the chains.
Here's where you don't think about putting the ball in the air. 1 minute to go, run the football.
McIntosh, flank to the left of DeWeaver, who stands in the shotgun. Twins either side, takes a snap, leaves it with McIntosh, just pulls his way towards the goal line. Does he get in? No, he's going to be shy. He's a half a yard shy with 43 seconds and counting to go in this game. EMCC is a half a yard away from taking the lead and more than likely winning this football game. Twin receivers either side of the formation. And now we have a timeout called by EMCC with 33 ticks on the clock to go in this game. We're going to keep it right here. And Deion McIntosh, 30 carries for 178 yards tonight. He's been the bell cow.
Oh, he has been the offense for EMCC. And the thing to look, if you look forward in the next couple of plays, the Warriors have used every timeout. They have none left. The EMCC has one timeout left, so they can still afford to run the football, burn clock, and then kick it if they need to do that. But right there, I mean, they're at less than a yard to go right now, Jason, from the end zone. And what a huge job DeWeaver has done here in the second half. Very poised. He's been very efficient as a quarterback. He's done a nice job, and he's avoided sacks here in the second half that he was taking in the first half.
So here we go, folks. Second down and goal to go. Officially from the 1, but it's less than a yard to go to Pater. Twin receivers to the left. Twin receivers near side to Weaver in the shotgun. McIntosh with 178 yards on the ground tonight will be flanked to the left of the tall DeWeaver. He'll take the snap, leaves it with McIntosh. He stumbles and he slips down and falls, and he's going to lose a yard back between the 1 and 2 yard line. There's 25 seconds to go. Clock is rolling. Now 22 seconds. EMCC trying to get set here. They're slow at doing it. 17 seconds. Now 16. DeWeaver in the shotgun will take the snap. Looking left. Fires it. Fade pattern. Left corner of the goal. And it's incomplete. And there's 7 seconds on the clock now. 7 seconds on the clock. Do you line up and try to kick it?
Oh, yeah, I think you got to do that. It's, of course, being there where the football is, it's going to be shorter than an extra point.
True.
And the officials now.
But you run that risk of it being blocked, but it is tied at 21 apiece.
Well, the frustration there is you run the football. Run the football so you can, and then you call a timeout if you don't get in. Don't put it in the air. There's only 3 things that can happen, and 2 of them's bad.
So we're going to keep it right here because they're going to break up here any moment from this timeout. We're tied at 21 apiece. EMCC is about to send the field goal unit on to the field. Josh Smith will attempt the field goal from the spot of the football is the 2.
It's going to be from about the 9-yard line. So it'll be a 19-yarder.
19-yard field goal attempt. Josh Smith is 2 for 3 on the season. Snapping it back to him will be Burton. Boykin's going to hold it. Actually, it's Goler who's come out there to hold this one. Officially now an 18-yard field goal, being told by our statistician. Burton will snap it back to Goler here momentarily with 7 seconds to go. Here it is. Here's the kick. It is good! And EMCC is on top 24-21 with just 4 seconds left to go in this game. Oh my goodness, what a ball game we've had here in Decatur.
What a great job. A lot of pressure on the kicker there as he just did his job, though. He watched the snap, got the ball into the air. It was good. And great second half so far from EMCC. And DeWeaver, we've talked about it here in the second half. What a superb second half he's played.
Absolutely. He's been very calm in the pocket like he normally is, but he's gotten great protection, and he's made good decisions with the football. And so he's played a stellar second half when he's had to. And he hasn't worried about Miller maybe coming off the bench. I don't think that's been in his head. Not that that's ever in his head, but he knew that this team depended on him, and he stepped up to the plate tonight. Now EMCC has to kick this football off, and we expect them to squib it, Glenn.
Yeah, you need to squib it and be ready for anything. Watch the throw across the formation and all of that. I mean, you got to stay in your lanes and play assignment football and tackle this thing down.
So Josh Smith, who just made the 18-yard go-ahead field goal, making it 24-21 with 4 seconds left to go in this game. He'll tee it up at the 35. And he's going to come on the football here in just a moment and kick it. The East Central from left to right. He makes sure his kick team is ready. Here he comes, and he is going to kick it high, and it's going to be deep. Backing up, cast inside the 5. He'll have it between the hash and the numbers across the 10. Now he's going to throw it near side as the horn sounds, and it's going to go out of bounds. This ball game is over. EMCC has won it, 24-21. And number 1, EMCC holds on to win it by 3. And the Lions aren't used to these close games where you have to be ice water in your veins and clutch. But boy, were they that tonight. They were in the state championship a year ago, converting on that 2-point conversion to win the game at Northwest. And facing a big game in Northwest next week, overcame a challenge tonight against number 20 East Central, 24-21.
You have to give it to East Central. They played their hearts out. Great game plan. Great job executing that game plan. Comes down to the very last couple plays of the ball game, and EMCC is there when it matters. Good job by the offensive team getting the ball down the field. Great job by the running backs. Terrific job by the backs on both teams. And EMCC coming out on top. But they're not going to forget what they've done here tonight.
We'll check in with Glenn Beard when we return after this timeout. We'll begin our post-game show in 2 minutes. You're listening to the EMCC Radio Network. EMCC with a game-winning 18-yard field goal by Josh Smith. The Tupelo, Mississippi product gets it done for EMCC. He was one of many, though, that got it done for the Lions. As soon as Glenn Beard gets Buddy Stevens, and you and I are going to be keeping an eye on that pile down there. Buddy's talking to his team right now. They just had the post-game prayer, but we're going to go down there to him. So whatever we're doing, we're going to stop what we're talking about and go straight to the field. We're going to try to get him before the media gets to talking to him, because that could last a while. But what a great win for EMCC. What a great game by East Central. They came out with a great game plan. They executed that game plan, and they just got a standing ovation just a moment ago from the home crowd. Let's go down on the field to Glenn Beard, who's standing by with Coach Buddy Stevens.
Thanks, Jason. Here with head football coach Buddy Stevens. Coach, the team really came out second half. Offensive line did a phenomenal job of really invoking their will and shoving the ball down the throat.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we had to. We didn't, that. Ken, Karcher, and their group do a really good job of coaching, and we've got to do a better job of executing the offense. And I mean, to me, our defense played really hard all night long, and we put them in a bad position. They only gave up 2 scores, and gosh almighty, hats off to East Central and how hard they work. Hats off to our defensive staff and our offensive staff getting these guys ready. Again tonight, special teams played a part, and we're excited to be 5-0 and going on next one. Like I told the guys, every season has one of these games, and right now we're glad that one's behind us.
Yeah, your team was in a dogfight, and they really responded. How proud of you are that?
I think they showed a lot of resiliency. I think they showed a lot of pride. And what a great our fans came out in droves, and thank y'all. They played a big part in this win.
Thanks, Coach. That's head football coach Buddy Stevens. Guys, phenomenal ball game. We were in a dogfight and had to respond to the adversity and really did a great job. Offensive line did an outstanding job.
All right, thank you, Glenn. We might be checking back with you here momentarily as he's trying to get victorious kicker Josh Smith, who was just talking with EMCC media a moment ago. And while he's grabbing him, let's go ahead and go back down there so Josh doesn't have to wait long. Glenn?
Thanks, Jason. Got Josh Smith down here. Hey, man. Game was on the line.
Yes, sir.
You stepped up. What was going through your mind?
I knew we were prepared. Coach Stevens got me prepared, and it's just what we do every day in practice. It's nothing new. And I had a lot of confidence. We've been having great snaps, great holds. And that line is just unbelievable. So I have a lot of trust in those guys, and they put me in the right position to do it.
What about at the end of the ball game, had to kick it off and then go make a tackle? Tell me what's going through your mind right there.
Yes, sir. We planned on kicking it out there, and then, he just kind of, he just made a cut, and it just happened to be right there. So
great job. Proud of you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, guys. Ice water going through his veins, stepped up, kicked the game-winning field goal as a freshman.
All right, thank you, Glenn. Appreciate that down on the field. Jonathan, we're going to give a scoring summary before we wrap up with our final thoughts. East Mississippi allowed East Central to get on the board first. It was a 3-yard touchdown pass from Mario Asagunla, who had the kick felled by Sam Cox. And it was a 12-play, 74-yard drive that took 7 minutes and 20 seconds off the clock. It was 6-0 the home team. Then EMCC in the second quarter with 12:34 to go before halftime. Deion McIntosh, a 15-yard run, his 9th touchdown on the ground this season. Josh Smith with the PAT. That capped a 7-play, 54-yard drive with 2 minutes and 10 seconds coming off the clock, and it was 7-6 EMCC. Then it was Josh Miller, who returned a 30-yard block punt return for a touchdown. It was blocked by Adrian Miller, and Josh Smith with the kick, making it 14-6. That was with 10:41 to go before halftime. Then Sam Cox connected on a 25-yard field goal, capping a 10-play, 53-yard drive with 4 minutes and 28 seconds coming off the clock. That was with 6:07 to go before half. That made it 14-9. Then the home team would take the lead. Vijay Miller would return an 84-yard fumble recovery for the touchdown with 59 seconds to go before halftime. Sam Cox kick failed. That made it 15-14. Then with 7:35 to go in the third quarter, Keon Moore, an 11-yard touchdown run. Josh Smith with the PAT, capping a 13-play, 91-yard drive, 4 minutes and 18 seconds off the clock. That made it 21-15. Then it was Torian Hamilton taking a 28-yard touchdown pass from Mario A., we'll call him. Sam Cox's kick was blocked, and that made it 21-all still with 9 plays, 80 yards, 4 minutes and 45 seconds coming off the clock. And then with 4 seconds left, Josh Smith, ice water in his veins, as Glenn Beard said, 19-yard field goal 13 plays, 54 yards, 3 minutes and 40 seconds taken off the clock. East Central didn't have another chance at it other than on the kickoff. EMCC perfectly executed down the stretch, and they win it by 3, 24-21. The number 1 team in the country coming up with the big plays. You get everybody's best shot. Buddy Stevens talks about it all the time. And when you get everybody's best shot that is a ranked team, you have games like this, and they've been rare, but it's happened, and EMCC had it tonight, and they survived.
Yeah, you got to step up and make great plays, and you have to really give it to the quarterback, Messiah DeWeaver, who comes into the game after Vijay Miller gets injured. He completes 20 of 30 passes for 152 yards. That tells you they're all short passes. He was sacked 5 times. All those sacks came in the first half, Jason. So the offensive line did a great job in adjustments to protect the quarterback, DeWeaver. He delivered, and wow, what else can you say except superb night for McIntosh? 31 carries, 183 yards. He had a long of 17 yards and an average of 5.7, so he was making things happen every time he touched the ball. Good job by the offensive line in the second half, standing up, making those adjustments, and you could pick several players if you wanted to pick a player of the game.
Jonathan, appreciate your help. Next week, you and I will be live up in Senatobia, Mississippi, as we get set for a big North Division showdown in MACJC play, as undefeated EMCC now at 5-0 will take on their North Division nemesis in the Northwest Rangers live from Ranger Field in Senatobia. And once again, that will be a 6 p.m. kickoff, and our airtime will be 5:15. And Buddy Stevens joining us on the postgame show, talking about this win. Glenn Beard will not be able to be there with us next week, but we may have a sideline reporter going to be working out those details. But we enjoyed calling this ball game for you, and we thank you for each and every one of you for tuning in tonight to this exciting 24-21 win by EMCC in South Division play, so non-conference division game, or non-conference game, I should say, as EMCC goes back to North Division play next week. I want to thank all of our affiliates. I want to thank Jaron Holmes, our producer, and board op back at the studios. For Jonathan Holmes and Glenn Beard, and for Buddy Stevens on the sidelines, I'm Jason Crowder saying so long, everybody, live from Bailey Field on the campus of East Central Community College. The Lions win it 24-21. Until next time, this has been a production of EMCC Football on the Lions Radio Network.